Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Rise of Tiamat. This is going to be as usual, we do a recap. This will be a very brief recap as we were off last week, so the exact details aren't as fresh in my mind. But yes, team, as you guys will likely recall, much of what your recent progress has been is traveling, as you have recently received note from your contact in Waterdeep, Dala, who has sent you this information about a worm speaker. This is essentially a high-ranking individual in the Cult of the Dragon, and this is an opportunity for the forces of good, so to speak, to strike a blow against the Cult of the Worm, or Cult of the Dragon, and has asked you to make your way down to a location known as the Boroskir Bridge. This is where this individual supposedly is. The individual's name is Verum, if I remember correctly, but that's of course in our notes, and we can double check that as needed. So you guys have been traveling via your rented or procured carriage, you might say. You guys have done a bit of different traveling as making your way down the open road. You did pass through Daggerford, which is a smaller-ish city, but large enough to have all the supplies and things you needed for resupplying with rations and water and just kind of relaxing, stretching out, that sort of thing. As you guys continued making your way south, you realized before too long that you had a stowaway, as you caught this scent of vanilla. After tracking down exactly where that was, there was a young man who would stone away on the top of the carriage, and it was sort of hiding amongst your supplies. You guys had a conversation with him. Turned out he was actually from Daggerford. You got the impression that he was maybe an apprentice, or maybe more than an apprentice mage, who originally was from Daggerford, but he had let you know that he's trying to make his way down to Candlekeep, because that's where he feels like his calling is really being a wizard and not being a nobleman, as he is the son of a noble from Daggerford. Right, Jordan is very much convinced that he is Ben Skywalker, or incarnate in some way. But yes, so you guys have been making your way down in the carriage. You've run into a few different interesting encounters along the way. One was the broken bridge just outside of Waterdeep that you guys ended up paying a small fee to cross via ferry. You ran into another where there were some carriages broken off the side of the road. Once you stopped, you were attacked by a bunch of kobolds and some lizard folk, but you guys easily dispatched those guys. Continued making your way south, ended up running into a random sort of wandering stranger who spoke or chatted your companion Ben up for a while, and eventually he told you of a couple different places, one nice place to rest and one small village sort of off the way that you could stop at, and then they had some good supplies there, some good food, that kind of thing. You guys decided to keep traveling that way, though there was some discussion about asking Ben to go with this traveling ranger, as some of the team members don't really trust Ben and they think he's maybe up to no good, or because this current mission that you're on is very sensitive, you're maybe thinking he is a spy of perhaps one of the factions back in Waterdeep, or maybe even of the cult itself. So there's been a little bit of an arm's reach kind of deal with him. However, he has assisted you guys in a couple of battles so far. Seems as though he is proficient in protective magic, is what he has explained to you. You guys were able to see that a bit on display during the battle with the kobolds and the lizard folk. And as you guys continued making your way south along the trade way, you found yourself in the midst of a storm. The rain started up, and then it was raining very hard. And you guys decided to take the carriage off the side of the road. And while you were there, the clouds got darker. And eventually, as you guys were just trying to wait out this storm, some of you kind of watching from the outside, you saw this approaching sort of very strange, large thing in the sky. And as you guys were all trying to react very quickly, you were able to determine that this was a very large dragon. The dragon seemed to be flying, perhaps not at top speed. It almost like it was hovering in the area. But as you guys sort of split away from your carriage and tried to take a more advantageous position, knowing that a dragon and breath weapon could hit a large area, you guys eventually found yourselves in combat with a group of individuals that were clearly cultists, members Cult of the Dragon. This dragon that was up in the sky seemed to be connected via some blue energy that went from its backside down to a rod that was being held by the apparent leader of this group of cultists. and they all engaged you in combat. The dragon was not quite real, but did have the ability to at least use its breath weapon once. You're not sure if it could have done so again. It didn't seem to do so quickly, but it did deal some decent damage with that. And then the cultists themselves, some of them were imbued with the ability to channel elemental energy into their strikes, which unfortunately Rasmus found out the hard way, as he found himself surrounded by several of these cultists, all slashing and batting him down. A few of the rest of the teammates also got hurt pretty badly, but luckily you guys were able to defeat these creatures. Unfortunately, you had found that Rasmus was slain and part of this battle. As you're wrapping up the last bits of the battle, killing these cultists, and then once Ben realized that Rasmus had been slain, he essentially said, "Why didn't you guys let me know that he was dead?" And then he approached and he cast the Revivify spell in order to bring Rasmus back to life. Even then, as he had poured life energy back into the slain satyr, as soon as he opened his eyes, he's like, "Yeah, I still don't trust you." So we still got some trust issues here. But yeah, it's been a very interesting last session. So that's my quick recap of last time, guys. Is there anything I missed anybody would like to add?
I think very importantly, we Ben not only did that, but he did the banishment. We killed the cult, and we took his little flashlight, and we have yet to identify that. And
blue scepter, but yeah, flashlight works.
Or flashlight. How else do I explain it to the new people who don't know? Flashlight. Anyway, and we have that, but we have yet to identify it.
Yes, indeed. So the item you just mentioned there that was of particular importance was that the cult leader seemed to be, or at least this group's cult leader, seemed to be pretty strong as far as using that rod with the dragon attached to it, and also striking out pretty solidly with his attacks. Luckily, when Ben cast a banishment spell on him, he failed to save, and that allowed you guys, or bought you guys, some time to get things under wraps, and then you prepared. So as soon as he popped back into existence, you guys all just kind of hammered him down. So yeah, good addition there, Gail. Go ahead and take inspiration. Anything else anybody'd like to add?
I did want to just include a little bit of the information that we have, just for Noah and Libby, not necessarily for inspiration or anything like that, but as of right now, we believe that we are anonymous, right? That the cult doesn't know about our particular group and what we've been up to so far. So that's why we've been a little suspicious. And then Rasmus himself actually stayed and talked to one of the council members. Her name is Dala. She's like a I don't know how to put it, like a proxy maybe, but he learned some more information out that was particularly dangerous to know, and is still particularly dangerous to know, because it could, be found out through divination means. So that's just to catch you guys up on why he's suspicious.
Fair enough, yes. Anything else anybody'd like to add?
I stepped away from the mic for a minute to yell at my cat, but so I don't know if this was mentioned, but I guess two things, actually. Number one, the mysterious stranger. I know we talked a little bit about that. He was talking to Ben, and then when we went to the village he suggested, we found out from the innkeeper that guy was actually dead, or someone fitting his description had died a long time ago in a troll attack. And so the information he was giving us was like potentially from beyond the grave, or maybe a copycat do-gooder out there. We're not really sure. And then shortly before we were attacked by the cultists, we also encountered like a little gnome dude riding a spider or insect or something, and he gave us the stink eye as he was passing, so we're thinking there might be something to that. We didn't see him again after that, but it was a thing that happened, and it's still stuck in my mind about what that could have been.
Yes, very great additions to the recap. Go ahead and take inspiration for yourself and give it to one other person that doesn't already have it, as that was 2 key items.
Sure, whoever wants it can take it. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who doesn't have inspiration? I'll give it to one of the new people. Flip a coin. 1d2 for.
You're so indecisive.
Shut the fuck up, Dylan. I will give on a 1 it's for Libby, on a 2 it's for Noah. Libby gets inspiration to start the campaign.
All right, fair enough.
What the heck?
Okay, anybody else have any last minute items to add before we get into it?
Just to remind everybody, Rasmus took all of the cultist mask that he could find, so he has some of those stashed.
And we did-
cultist masks and clothing, if I remember correctly. That I'll give you inspiration for. So yes, because you guys said specifically you wanted to have disguises in case you ran into other members of the cult.
And we just took a short rest. Can I roll for my exhaustion for going down?
Yes.
Yeah, speaking
that's a
of,
good
doesn't
point.
Revivify like fuck you up for days? How is
No,
what's
it
Raz-
does not actually. That's raised dead. Revivify, because it's within 1 minute. Actually, no side effects.
Ooh,
Does that
Oh, good for
include
you.
the home addition of me going down, or would I still have a level of exhaustion?
No, you still have a level of exhaustion when you go down for the house rule. You can, if you guys spent a short rest, remember that's sort of on an individual basis. So if you spent a short rest recently, you can certainly make that con save DC 10 to shake that level off.
we kind of ended at like the end of our travel, right? So I mean, they would have time during the night to do
You
that.
guys,
and then
so I mean, technically, yes. Yeah, we will assume you guys slept through the night. So yeah, if you wanted to spend a short rest and then you would get your short rest back in the morning, yeah, that's fair enough. All right, so as we can see here on our map, this carriage is representing our PC party as they are making their way south along the road. You guys have had more than enough of the travel so far, running into some very strange occurrences here. Not things typically found out on the road, or at least not very frequently. So I imagine you're continuing to make your way south on your path, just trying to get there as quick as you can to the Boriskir Bridge, yes?
Yes, that is the plan, and I am sitting up with the drivers just because of things.
Yeah, Rasmus is still riding on top, and yeah, he faces the direction we're not traveling, so he's always looking behind us. So just for your awareness.
And also before we left the next morning, I will say to Rasmus that, I know that you still think that Ben is might be nefarious or have ill intent for our party, but keep in mind you were like a pile of ash, burnt with fireball and dead, like a dead, DED dead. But he brought you back to life. It was freaking incredible.
Yeah, but I don't remember any of that. So how can I give him credit for something I don't remember?
But that's why I'm telling you, as your friend from the other place, the Feywild, that I just want to know. I saw with my own eyes, and though I agree with your suspicions and have shared them openly, I think we should trust him a bit more, my friend. Just to let you know.
You can trust him more, right? But let me continue distrusting him, because if we all trust him, that's when he strikes.
Oh, that's true. So you'll be. I'll just stop speaking in common, and I'll just say in Elvish. Okay, I get it. You'll be the suspicious one. Okay, that sounds good.
And I just kind of shake my head, and then I'll light up my tobacco pipe and climb up to my little spot on the back, and be ready to take off. I think Ben is inside with Kurtu Inspector.
He is, yes. And FYI, Bill, I've seen you light up a couple times, but I haven't heard you, so I don't know if you're trying to talk and it's not coming through. Still not coming through. No, today's going to be the tech night issue,
Well, he's fixing that. Didn't we also ask Ben if he could identify the scepter?
You did, yes, and he told you that that's not one of his skills or talents.
Yeah, same with that. We've got 2 scroll cases as well. Kurtu does.
All right, so while Bill is figuring that tech issue out, there was one other house rule I just remembered that we didn't talk about. This is a relatively recent change for us. So Libby and Noah, the things that's different in this one with exhaustion is every time you fall to the ground, instead of having the 1 point of exhaustion and that scale that continues to go up, instead what we're doing is the new rule from 1D&D, which essentially is a -1 modifier that applies to all of your D20 rolls, and that just stacks. So if you go down one time, it'd be a -1. If you go down a second time, you'd be at -2, and so on and so forth. So while hitting 0 is still bad, it's not perhaps as bad as it is when you have stacking exhaustion, because that can get really bad really quick. But this still shows, the negative sides of dropping to 0, still has a penalty there baked in, so we're giving that a try. And I will make sure that modifier is on you guys' sheet moving forward. If for some reason one of you guys drops to 0 today, we might have to just handle that without the automation, but no biggies for tonight.
For some reason.
Test.
There we go,
There
Bill.
you are.
Yeah, no clue. But
What Kurtu wanted to make sure that Rasmus knew is that when Gale was talking about burning and on fire, I don't know who else cast a fireball on your dead corpse. It wasn't me, of course, but I did see Ben save your life.
I'm just going to kind of look at Kurtu and look at like maybe a little bit of the soot and singe on his cloak, and then just kind of like squint my eyes at him and say, okay. There's no way I could beat your deception score.
at least, yeah.
Oh, I still didn't beat it.
Pretty close.
And it would be insight.
Yeah, so insight is worse. So he just stares at you and kind of squints his eyes, and he goes, "Oh, if they're using fire, we have you to counter them next time." Can't believe I died. And then he's just going to climb up on top of the chariot or whatever. No, it wasn't a chariot, was it?
Carriage.
Carriage.
Okay, so you guys continue on your way traveling. And we know that Brian, of course, was the one that rolled last. So, Bill, you would be up next. So, Kurtu, 1D100, please.
Don't you dare do it.
Okay.
That's a C-, so you know.
Okay, so yeah, your group continues traveling. And again, you guys are going overland. You're traveling by carriage. So you travel for about 3 more days of uneventful travel here. Watching your surroundings. Obviously, you're seeing birds occasionally. You're seeing maybe occasionally a traveler, but it's pretty rare. When you do see them, they might be on horseback or they might be just walking. But usually it's small groups of people rather than individuals. Kind of just, do the either ignore them or give them a wave. No real interaction. They're just kind of wanting to be on their way. As you guys continue traveling on these 3 days, on the start of the 4th day, so you guys have eaten in the morning, gotten your drink in, and then started continuing traveling. Traveling further south, I would like the 4 of you currently in the carriage to go ahead and give me a blind check.
I think we lost our tokens.
No, it's just a big
far
map.
right.
Yeah, you gotta scroll out.
Oh. Okay.
Big old map.
Okay, so as you guys continue traveling, and you can see the area that you're traveling, it's very kind of flat and plain, and it continues off as you're making your way further down here. Both Gale and Rasmus, you recall some information that you've heard, perhaps either through reading a book or through talking with people and talking locally about this area. Think of this as your historical knowledge in the area. You're getting closer and closer to this location known as Dragon Spear. And some of you aren't really sure what this is. Maybe you haven't spent a whole lot of time here. But the 2 of you, this information sort of sticks in your mind. You recall that Dragon Spear was actually an ancient dwarven fortress, and that it had fallen some years ago. And throughout history, it has unfortunately been used as kind of like a haven for, you might say, criminal elements sometimes. There's been times where opponents, enemies, humanoids, undead sometimes monstrous, have sort of come in out of the bowels of Dragonspear and sort of ravaged the countryside. With this information fresh in your mind, Rasmus, you also recall even more recent information that the locals in the area have actually, in the last decade or so, they built a garrison that is right next to Dragonspear, and it is actually a manned garrison of soldiers that sole purpose is essentially to monitor Dragonspear and deal with any threats that should happen to emerge from it.
So I'll, as I'm riding on the back of it and I'm taking in the surroundings, I turn and I look and I see Gail's kind of doing the same thing, and I lean up to the driver and I say, driver, I don't know, in the next, I don't know, maybe day or so, you'll see maybe a makeshift settlement, like a garrison or collection of tents or something. Let's pull into there. It should be a good place to restock supplies.
He inclines his head towards you as you let him know this, Rasmus.
And I'm going to kind of...
Is
Go
your
ahead.
brain thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, you remember what you read about Dragonspear.
Also, remember that we are near where the smelly large trolls are living.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, that's what the creepy guy in the woods said. Yeah.
Yeah, do you have your acid vials?
No, I didn't buy any of that.
Well, then here, I will give you 2 acid vials. You put it on your belt. In your character sheet, just put belt next to it.
Okay, so
I'll give him 2 of my 4.
I'll take them and I'll make a replacement. You'll see me swap out one of the healing potions on my belt for one of the acid vials.
Oh, is it one item on your belt?
2
I think it's
items
2.
on your belt.
Oh,
But
okay,
I had
cool.
2 healing potions, so I'll just swap one out for the acid vial, and I'll say well, we should go around Dragonspear. I mean, we shouldn't go through it.
Well, what makes my head like hurt is why is such a violent place in the middle of a road on the map? And I pull my map out and I'll be like, I mean, why? How come this hasn't been dealt with? This is called the trade way.
It's not our problem, Gil.
Well, the fate in our whole hometown, this would never happen.
It's not our hometown. It's not our home plane. We're not from here.
Okay, well, we should be very, very careful.
Yeah. But we've got a few days before we'll get there, anyways. So, just maybe tonight, when we stop to camp, we'll give everybody an overview of what's at Dragonspear and make the decision together.
Right. So do I have time, Adam, in these days to teach Rasmus some Draconic?
You do, as long as you're in the same place, either both on top or both in the middle, sure.
Yeah, then for this beginning of the session, I think you said 3 days. I'll give you 3 days of training. And remember, I'm teaching you the cuss words first.
Okay. So, I don't need to roll for that, right, Adam? It's just I need to do the math that you gave me. I have it written down in my...
Correct. Yep, so it's a certain number of work weeks, and you're dividing that up into days. And yeah, once you get the total number of days necessary, then you would be considered proficient in the language. Doesn't necessarily mean you're an expert at the language, but you know it well enough to communicate.
Okay, I'm 35% now after that 3 days, but 35%.
Okay. All
Getting
right,
there.
so you guys are making good time. It sounds like I heard you want to stop tonight and sort of give information. Is this sort of a just let them know what you just learned, or are you wanting to go more in depth or more detail?
No, I mean, I figure we're not traveling overnight, so whenever we finish our, you said we traveled for 3 days, and on the fourth day, well, like towards the end of the fourth day of traveling, when we're starting to find a place to pull over and camp, I'll kind of give them a rundown of like, the knowledge that I have on Dragon Spear, and how it's not safe, and there's a lot of criminals, and recently there's been like a group that's been patrolling it and keeping it, under wraps. But Rasmus will essentially say he votes for stopping at the garrison place and then going around Dragonspear, not going through it.
Right, so there's really no, just so for reference, there's no way to go through Dragonspear. Think of this as a large fortress. I guess if you wanted to try to breach like a wall and go through it, you might try that, but
I gotcha.
yeah, think of this as more of like a sealed kind of thing. So to get into it, there's entrances, of course, but it's not just wide open.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like a establishment like in the road, like it was like at a corner of two roads here, so
No.
I didn't really know. Okay, cool. Yeah,
this is like a dwarven fortress that would have to actually be breached from like an entrance, and think of this as almost like a really big castle, but instead of having like parapets and ramparts and all that kind of stuff, it's really designed more that the castle, being of dwarven make, is mostly underground. The top part of it obviously protrudes from the ground level, but it's not like open city or anything like that.
Yeah, so Rasmus will pretty much still say everything the same, except instead of saying go through it, he'll just say we shouldn't stop at it. We should just, go right past it. But be wary, because the closer we get to it, the more likely we may encounter something.
Okay, perfect. So I'm happy to continue, guys, on your travels. Is there any special arrangement anybody's wanting to do as you're moving multiple days closer towards Dragonspear?
I will.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, since we are starting to get close to the bridge, or at least closer to our destination than we are from our starting point, I'll just say it's possible that someone at the garrison may have seen who and what we're looking for, and it could be worth stopping by to just check things out.
Yeah, I agree. With that logic, though, it would also make sense to maybe see if we could talk to somebody who's been in Dragonspear.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe there might be some mysterious strangers hanging around Dragonspear that...
We are not
Yeah,
picking
more
up
from-
any more strangers. This is a covert mission.
Yes. You're Spectre of the Whispering Wind, right? That's the whole thing?
Uh-huh.
Besides, our carriage can't carry anybody else. We've got Ben and we've got you guys.
Welcome
it.
to the group, guys. We're very, very open and loving.
Unless they want to walk.
Well, anyways, we should definitely stop, because we need to make sure we got horse feed. We still got plenty of water and rations and everything, but still.
All right, you guys continue traveling several more days, total of about 5, before you're finding yourself.
Hides his DM notes.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
That was in response to a specific comment. So, it's like, hey. But, yes.
Yeah, well... Look, my brain got scrambled by an intellective hour. I'm kind of seeing through time and space right now.
Makes sense. Yes, absolutely.
I had a dream last night that we were all being puppeteered by a bunch of sweaty guys huddled around some magic boxes. Not really sure what was going on.
And on that note, as you continue making your way south along this road, getting closer to this location known as Dragonspear, you do indeed see this sort of garrison, I guess you could call it. Think of this as a small fort. You can see that there is some obvious repairs going on at the moment that you kind of get close to it, say within 100 yards or so.
I'm going to kind of bang on the roof of the carriage, and as the driver, say, hey, slow down a little bit. Kartu. Kind of looks like we're going to have to talk to some people, and you're better than that. All of us at that.
Are you sure?
He says I'm the leader, but I am still the leader, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We
Hold your
voted.
pause as a yes. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure nothing happened on our trip. I wasn't sure if the fireball I didn't cast maybe changed your mind. I don't know.
I thought you said you didn't do that.
That I didn't cast, right? I know I didn't cast that particular one. Mine missed you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so does this mean you guys want to essentially pull the carriage off to the side and then approach the garrison by foot?
How far off the road is the garrison from?
I don't know, like 100
Like,
yards.
do they have
is what he
do they
said.
have like a sentry post on the road for like passersby to?
You haven't seen any so far. You guys are currently like 100 yards or so from the garrison.
Well, why don't
Is
we
there
just
like a
go
side path to the
Yeah.
garrison?
So think of it as though this large fortress is off to one side. The garrison itself is probably 50 feet from that. So what you're seeing on screen right now, this is intended to represent the garrison. So I imagine you guys are approaching from profile view, so you're noticing this kind of construction going on. If you take a moment to stop and watch, you'll actually see that there are workers there with tools in hand, and they're actually, building some of that scaffolding at the moment. You can see a few different people kind of moving about, but you haven't spotted what you would assume to be like a sentry.
Sure, but what I'm asking is like, it's a garrison, so there must be like a supply chain to like bring stuff to and from it. So is there like a path we could bring the carriage down, or are we like required to? Is there like no path that we would such that we would have to get off the carriage to walk up to the garrison?
No, you could certainly take it right up to the garrison if you wanted to.
Kurtu, you should ride up here.
Are we wanting to get more supplies? Because we could always use some more eggs. I need some more eggs, but it's not critical.
Oh, yeah, we should stop and we should ask questions because we need to find this Ferrum.
No sense in leaving that cart here. We should drive up because you mentioned something about criminal elements in the area. We don't want to leave our cart unattended and come back to find that we've been screwed over.
I'm gonna look up at the driver and say, hey, so...
Terrible criminal elements, you can't trust them.
Yeah. Look, driver, we've had a good run so far, and we're gonna get closer to dangerous things, I suppose. We should probably have a plan if that happens. So, if we get off the cart, you need to keep moving. Move to a safe area, and we'll find you.
But okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding. The garrison is not like a thieves' den or anything, right? They're
No, no.
Right, yeah.
Dragon Spear is the place where they said that sometimes there are criminals in.
Okay.
But
We
they
should
might be
still-
like operating in the area, like waiting for.
I think Jordan's right. We just go right up as far as we can with the cart.
Yeah, I'm just
And
saying.
if they stop us, we like.
Yeah,
comply.
look, it's always
Ask
good to
for
have a
being
backup
detained.
plan.
Well,
I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something.
No,
Alright.
in any future events, now and till the end of this journey, driver, if something dangerous happens, you get your ass out of there into a safe spot, yeah?
Okay.
You see he turns and looks towards you and nods slowly, kind of understanding what you're saying, but you're guessing he's making some filling in the blanks in his head.
Yeah, as we're arguing while we're talking about it, but yeah, it makes sense.
Well, Rasmus, give him my whistle. Then he blows whistle, and then we know that something's happening at the cart.
Yeah.
So you've handed him a whistle here, Gale?
Yes, I gave him my whistle.
Okay, yeah, so he takes it, looks at it, and you see he kind of like eyes it, turns it to the side, and then turns again, looks towards you, and gives you a nod.
Don't worry, he hasn't used it yet, to my knowledge.
Yeah, well, look, I will ride inside with Ben, I guess, and Kurtu, why don't you ride up top in case you need to talk to someone?
It's great.
We have popcorn in these rations.
Shut up.
All right, the carriage continues getting closer to the garrison. As you're pulling up closer, getting to about the 50-yard mark or so, you start to notice some other heads poking up from the walls themselves. These look to be more like guards or soldiers, not so much as laborers that you've spotted so far. You notice the ones that do stand up and eye you, they kind of stay looking that way, holding on to spears. You see a couple of them have crossbows in hand. They're not aimed at you, but they are aimed in your general vicinity, sort of in a lazily kind of fashion. You also notice some people kind of moving about the area there of the garrison, the sort of the walls, the ramparts. And as you guys close to about 20 yards or so, you hear a voice shout out. And as you turn your head and look this direction, you see an armed man who shouts out and says, "Stay there for inspection."
Well, there. Nice to meet you. I'm Kurtu.
I assume the driver is smart enough to stop.
Unless you guys give him other direction, yes, he does indeed slow to a stop. All right, and as you guys sit there in the carriage, either in the middle or on the top, you see again a lot of movement around. None of them look to be too concerned or too weary at this point. They're just kind of eyeing you casually. However, that gentleman who called out loudly from top, you see him seemingly making his way down and eventually pops his head around a corner. So think of this as like a small path that goes into the garrison. He's opening this large wooden door that looks to be secured, and you can see that there are some guards nearby likely helping him with these very massive doors. As he exits, he starts making his way towards you. Nobody seems to follow him, and you don't see that he has any weapons in hand, though he is wearing a breastplate armor and seems to have like some satchels and some other belongings on him, but no obvious weapons. As he closes to about 10 yards or so from you, you see he looks up towards you now, Kurtu, with this conical helmet on his head, and he says, "You said your name is Kurtu?"
Well, yes, my name is Kurtu, and what's your name, sir?
"You can call me Sergeant Ways."
Sergeant Ways. Okay, that's an easy name to remember.
He kind of eyes you again without giving any obvious response. "What is it you wish to do here, Kurtu? What is your means? Why are you here?"
Well, we saw the area here. We've been traveling a long time, right? So we thought we'd come over here. We're not really sure. Some of my friends have been here before, at least seen the building before. And I was wondering, do you guys have any inns or anything? Like if we wanted to spend the night and buy some eggs, is this a good place?
"We have some provisions, but we don't have any inns. This is not for travelers, so to speak. We do have shelter from terrible weather and tough times, but it is much more standard fare than you're probably used to." And you see again him sort of eyeing around, and then you notice almost like this dawn of recognition as he pulls like a scroll from his side, not very big, looks like maybe about 6 inches wide or so, and he kind of unfurls it as he's looking towards you and then back towards the scroll, and he says, You said Kurtu?"
Kurtu, yes, I'm a Dragoran.
"And declare the rest of your companions." And you see him looking around, eyeing the rest of them, the folks on the carriage.
Well, let's see. We've got Gale, of course. He's sometimes friendly, right? And we have Rasmus, who's he's here too, right? And we have our friend Spectre here, and she's kind of quiet at times.
Hey, how you doing? I'm like filing my nails or something halfway inside the carriage, but
All right.
Oh,
You notice him eyeing this scroll paper again, and he rolls it up casually, and he nods, and he says, "Thank you for identifying yourselves. Wait here for just a moment. I must go in and file the appropriate next steps."
Sergeant Ways, I forgot to tell you, we have our driver here too. I forgot to introduce him.
And you see he just kind of looks his head towards the driver and looks back towards you. "That won't be necessary. Just wait here."
What was it? A scroll, Kurtu? Did you see? Did you see what it was?
He had a scroll.
But
Yeah.
he was checking. Our covert mission is no longer secret.
I don't know. I didn't ask him to show it to me.
I could take him.
One of two things is about to happen. Either he's working for the council and he was expecting us, or I forget the woman's name who sent us here. He might be working for her, or the other one. In which case, yes, Gale, I would apprise the situation similarly.
Excellent. Did that take a minute, Adam? I'm not going to do that. I don't need to do that right now. Never mind.
No, last 2 fights we've been in, I was far away, and by the time I got there, you guys killed everything, and then the second one, I got my ass kicked. So, if we get in a fight here, I am really going to hurt somebody.
He's
Just saying.
very friendly.
Yeah, well,
I mean, he seemed official.
That's right.
Was the breastplate like standard guard fare, or was there anything we could like learn from it? Did he have like a crest or any kind of identifying standards or anything?
Give me a blind check to see if you would pick anything up out of that quick glance.
is he wearing a tabard with his guild crest on it?
Nothing so obvious, no.
Does he have the Cult of the Dragon mask on?
He does not. Now, on this one, you will have to just drag a token on screen. So
Yeah,
it can
I'm
be a blind
trying. There it goes. I think I actually have 2, but I can't click on the first one.
No distinguishing marks that you were able to make out here, Spectre. It seemed to be pretty standard fare. He did have like a cloak on behind him. Some, the breastplate itself was the top layer, but he had some clothing underneath it. But yeah, nothing that stuck out to you that gave you any kind of pause.
And while we're standing out here waiting for him, Adam, can I take just a look around at the surroundings? Can I see anything? Like, are there trained crossbows on us? Does it look like we've got eyes on us while we're from like people off in a distance, or are we just kind of in this little back staging area? Or
Sure, yeah. Give me a blind check as well. There's obviously people on the walls. There's a bunch of laborers. As you look around, there's quite a few people, but nothing jumps out to you again. Like, you don't see any obvious people watching you with any kind of strange intent or anything like that. Those on the ramparts are certainly looking down towards you, but again, you get this sort of more or less lazy kind of response from them. They're not like vigilant and staring right at you and ready at a second's notice. Nothing like that. It almost seems like standard fare. Okay, as you guys are sitting in the carriage just discussing amongst yourselves and sort of looking around this vicinity, you notice as the sergeant who is wearing that breastplate is coming back, it seems as though he has one person behind him, and you notice another person sort of rushes out in front of him at this point, running over towards your group at a pretty decent pace.
They're here! They're here! They're here!
Harmony, please go ahead and describe what Harmony looks like.
Jesus, Bill.
Harmony looks like a dirty hippie, and she is a half elf. Not particularly thin, but hazel eyes, brown hair. She's like 50 maybe, so not too old for half elf, I think. And then she is not wearing any shoes, and she has an owl bear feather in her hair, and she smells.
All right, fair enough. So this is what you guys notice as this individual is sort of moving quickly and seemingly excited as she's making her way towards your carriage. A bit behind her, moving at more of a standard pace, you might say, you see the sergeant once again, and then you notice just behind him another figure that is following in lockstep with the sergeant. And Hugo, go ahead and describe what your character looks like.
Okay, Hugo's like a middle-aged man, sort of thinnish up top, but he definitely has like a bit of a gut. He's wearing like these little spectacles that are just sort of on the end of his nose, but sort of gaunt in the face, and he has armor on, and a sword in a scabbard on his side, but he's also just sort of wearing these robes sort of on top of the armor. And he looks a little bit cleaner than Armony does. And he's like, "Thank you, Sergeant."
And you notice the sergeant looks towards you now, Hugo, as you're making your way out. He looks over towards the carriage and he looks back to you one more time. You can tell, again, he's not quite sure exactly all the specifics of what is going on here, but seems to think better than to ask any perhaps prying questions. So he simply nods and says, feel free to have your conversation out there. I need to get back to work. I assume if you need anything, you know where to find me. And you see he just quickly turns on his heel and makes his way back into the garrison.
And Hugo sort of strides up with his hands up to the side after seeing them maybe a little on edge.
Harmony runs up to the kobold and is like, we've been waiting for you. You must be Kurtu?
I'm sure that people have heard who I am, but I don't know you.
All right. Dala sent us. Dala Silmelhelv.
Mm-hmm.
For what? For what? You want to hand us more water and maybe provide us some figs and a charcuterie dish?
Yeah, are you here to resupply us?
That's very grateful. Thank you for that.
Do I look like a waiter to you?
Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna come behind Gale and kind of punch him a little bit, and I'm gonna lean in and say, charcuterie. Is it?
That must be Rasmus. Is that Rasmus?
I'm Rasmus. How do you know Gala?
I'm Harmony. I know her through Hugo. This is Hugo, everybody.
Hello, I'm Hugo. We're here to give you a little information and maybe help you out a little bit.
Hey, Ben. How about you hop in the carriage with the driver, yeah?
I imagine that's where Ben's been this entire time.
If not, I just kicked him back out, though. Like, get back in there.
So you're asking a driver to essentially go in the middle of the carriage and leave where he's currently at?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so Ben and the driver are currently inside with the doors closed.
Oh, we have to talk secret stuff, huh?
No. We're not talking
Totally.
secrets. No. We are not talking secret stuff to these strange peoples who comes out of here and says the word of somebody that we know.
You don't have to tell me anything. I don't need to know anything else, but just... can I pass the message along to you?
Yeah. Do you have the password?
The little one's right. You need the password.
Well, she didn't give me any sort of password.
That stinks. The only other solution is we must bare knuckle box.
I think she also said that whoever was going to give us supplies is also going to give us some traveling coins, too, just in case. That's wonderful.
Look how encrypted this note is. This is obviously top secret stuff, man.
You're a good boxer, Hugo.
No. I mean, I lost more than I won, probably. And he like smiles, and he's missing quite a few teeth. He's like got sort of a crooked smile. I don't use my fists anymore. I'm beyond that now. But anyways, listen. Help me out. If I help you out, then she helps me out.
Everyone's so helpful today. So, what's your message? We could at least listen to the message and then kind of get an idea on what we believe.
Harmony, you can tell him, but don't scream it, because he like looks around at the garrison. You never know who's watching.
Well, actually, wait. That is a very good point. We have to stay away from the earshot of the people who are inside the cart. So let's step to the side. Go over here, please.
People inside the cart?
Yes, there's some pepples inside the cart.
We just collect all kind of friends.
They're not trustworthy.
Oh,
No,
well,
they just don't know the whole truth. And if you know the whole truth, like you claim to, they shouldn't hear it.
Harmony is going to hand over to whoever appears to be the leader
It's cartoon.
to
The kobold, of course, is always the leader, right?
a note that
Yep, give it here.
is very cryptic. And she says it took us a long time to discern it, but Dala had given us.
It took us a long time.
Yeah, but we figured it out, and it says,
You read the note that was meant for us?
no, it was for us. It says it's from Dala, and it says a group of travelers in my employ will be passing by Dragonspear within a handful of days. The gods be good. Let them know that their target has left his original location. You should travel directly to Serpent's Tail Stream and follow that into the Serpent Hills. And then she described you guys, gave us your names, and she wants us to help you.
With that description there, I'm kind of thinking that she may be talking about us. It's kind of direct.
How do you know Dala?
I worked with her for a bit.
Does anybody know this Serpent Tails stream that it says here?
I think I passed by it, but I haven't spent time there.
This is where we pass by over to our overland map. All right, so those of you that have any kind of chance of having familiar knowledge of this area, feel free to give me, we'll call this a history check. So this would be if you're a local, if you spent any time studying geography, maybe you're a cartographer, any of those kind of things that would apply, or if you just think for some reason maybe you would know this, feel free to make a check.
I just thought it sounded familiar.
There's no way Rasmus would know much about anything. Like, he would know about Dragonspear because it sounds like a place where people get in fights, but he's not going to know anything about a river or a stream, so he's not going to make a roll.
I was about to say, no one's going to roll it. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll roll. What was it, history?
You can, yes. Let me make sure we've got your icon over there on the side so you have something to grab onto. Okay, so there is Harmony. You'll find the token on the far right. Let me get Hugo's over there. Okay, so both of those should be there now. Add your little name labels.
Should I change to public?
Yes, and also when you click on your token, much like the other campaign, you'll hit the blind check option in the top left.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes, I would say perhaps in your time in this rough area, maybe you've heard of this. You don't have a whole lot of details on this, Harmony, but you know the rough approximation where both the Serpent Hills and Serpent's Tail Stream is. You can see the Serpent's Tail Stream is currently visible here on this map. You'll notice that it has kind of like a trailing bit to it. So the Serpent's Tail Stream is sort of this piece of it. And this seems to be what she has indicated to you. The Serpent Hills themselves, of course, are right nearby.
Yeah, I passed by and saw where it is. I could take you over there.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry, but my head hurts because once again we are running into people randomly on the road who say they want to help us. But
It's not random, Gale. Look.
I don't necessarily want to help you. I want to help myself. And as long as you're not doing anything nefarious, I'm happy to advance myself here.
Describe nefarious.
That's a great question. Yes.
Killing of, innocent people and that sort of stuff, and
No. we
Hurting
don't do-
animals,
trying to destroy the world,
Nope.
that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
No, we don't do any of
summoning
those things.
demons.
Mm-mm. Can't do that. Well, wait. And then we all turn and look at Spectre.
None of you know.
Okay.
Unless you're talking
Fourth
about, unless you're
up,
talking to Leroy.
Like, I'm not even sure who you're chasing. So, that's actually something I'd like to know before I agree to help you all.
Okay. Well, look. We're looking for someone, a dwarf. He's up to some nefarious things, as you said.
One of the little dwarfs, huh?
He's acting independent from any clan. He's a part of some cult that we're also at means of dismantling, if possible. I am probably the least trustworthy person. Oh no, wait, I said that wrong. How do I say
I
it?
don't know if you said that wrong. It could be true.
No, I mean, I don't trust people easily. Is that right? I think
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. It's really, it's said that he doesn't really like people too much. I mean, he's part, well, anyway, yeah.
But you've been working with Darla for a while, huh?
Yeah. We, I wouldn't say are working for her, but she is kind of in between us and who we're working for, because no one really knows who we are and what we're up to, and there's a reason for that.
Well, a friend of hers is a friend of mine.
So then, Miss Armony, how long you know Dahlia?
Oh, well, as long as Hugo has, because Hugo and I have been traveling together for many years through long distances.
Oh,
Some
since
trippy
that,
shit, too.
well, oh, I see lots of mushrooms and sniffing of the bark.
Purple lightning, more like it.
And
Portals
you could,
through different planes. You know how it is.
and with all your traveling, you couldn't find a plate, like a cobbler that has shoes or anything?
Hey, man, you gotta be more in tune with the planet. And you can't do that through the soles of a shoe.
Yeah, she has her own ideas about things, but if you're ever in a tight spot, you want her on your side.
So then, with friends or not friends yet, but acquaintances.
Yeah,
are you
yeah, take it easy with that.
okay? Yeah, okay. I like this guy, but so tell him.
I like all of you. You're my
are
friends.
Are you wanting to hop into our bus, or you just give us the note?
She told us to help you.
Oh, okay.
So, we help you find this fella you're looking for. We do whatever we're planning to do to it. And then, we'll be good at that point.
Well, at the bottom of your note it says you will be rewarded. What reward did she offer you?
She has some connections. And let's just leave it at that.
I just like to go where the wind takes me.
Well,
We're not going to have to put flowers and stuff all over our caravan.
You want a flower crown? I can make you a flower crown.
Sorry, just having fun.
I just want
You
to
say
point
the
out
word.
that I also don't wear shoes, so I understand.
Exactly. This guy gets it.
Because you can't.
Shut up, Spectre.
All right. Well, you guys know that I'm always up for making friends. So I vote yes.
Again, We're not friends. This is a business
I
transaction.
said making friends. I didn't say we're friends yet, Hugo, and I think that it may be a little challenging now that you're kind of spoiling the moment.
You're my friends. And Hugo's my friend. So we're all friends.
Oh my god, I'm loving that.
We
Everyone knows the transitive property.
if Dallas sent you, then she must think that we probably need an extra set of hands or two. So I agree with Kurtu. You have my vote, but we have some rules, right? The first is we don't tell anybody outside of what is this? Six of us what we're doing, right? Next,
5.5.
I don't even know what we're doing.
I guess that's a
Good.
good point.
What about the
answer.
people in the carriage?
Yeah, we keep them at arm's length.
Driver's
Nope.
being paid not to ask questions. The kid is on his way to Candlekeep.
Yeah, and Ben's our friend, so
Again, Kurtu, acquaintance.
friend now.
What?
He's been our friend. He's our friend now.
He
The
brought you
next
back
rule. We're not getting into this. Look, the next rule is we share what we find, right? Okay. Got that? Share what we find?
Oh,
Yeah?
yeah.
Split 6 ways.
Sure.
And magic items are sold and divvied up, or
Yeah, we kind of make a decision on those as they appear, right? But, we have
all
a
right.
couple of cool things. We have no idea what they do, though.
Is your target rich? Is he gonna have a lot of treasure for us?
Probably not at this time.
He lost his treasure, and he is trying to find it, but we are trying to beat him to it.
Ah. So if we find that treasure first, do me and Harmony here get a little wet of our whistle?
You need a whistle?
It's like finally more of Hugo is coming out now. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, look, like I said.
There he is.
We split it.
Oh, very good, very good.
And the last rule, and this one's important. Kurtu is the leader.
Truth.
Hugo salutes sarcastically.
Well, that's
And you-
obvious.
And you guys are now officially the FNGs.
Yep, there's truth there too.
So that means that you get the low man work. So, for
Yes.
example,
Still doing that.
if the carriage gets stuck in the swamp, then you get out and push.
All right.
And just to let you know, the way you become the leader around here is you don't die as often as everyone else.
That's one thing I'm good at.
You're the only OG left, I just realized.
That's why he's the leader. That's the whole reason why he earned the title.
Yeah, out of character. That is
He
pretty.
hides in
That's
the
why
back.
Kurtu took over leadership because everyone else died at one time or another.
No one can refute it. He just kept saying, "I'm the leader." Whoever came
Yeah.
along just
Grandfathered in.
That's right. There
That's
was
how it
no
works in
vote.
real life too, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that he's the most talented leader in Faerun. It just means that he's been here the longest, I guess.
And to be honest, we shouldn't stay here too long. I mean, it seems at least safe for now, but we do need to move. I mean, if our target is on the
so
move,
too.
if your letter is right, then that means that we need to go.
Adam, is it possible for Hugo to get a horse from the garrison? He'd
I
pay.
think it's certainly possible that Hugo came with a horse, so sure.
Okay, and I can just deduct like 75 gold or whatever from my sheet.
Sure, that works.
Adam, what is this? Is this water or is this?
That's green
Open
grass
field.
plains.
That doesn't sound hard to travel through.
Yeah, well, it does leave us exposed.
And it says to follow the river, right? Oh,
Yeah, follow it along the Serpent's Tail stream.
Yeah, but then it says to the Serpent Hill.
So
Right.
I will get my map out that I have been cartographing on, and I will point that I think that your memory said this part was the Serpent's Tail stream, that we don't have to go all the way down here and then start our search all the way up there. Maybe we just go straight across to this area.
That little fork right there, that'd probably save us some days, because otherwise it would be... Yeah,
Yeah.
366 miles, or... I know that's a little meta for us to use the measurement tool, but obviously a straight line is the quickest way from point A to point B.
And you have a literal cartographer in your group, so I don't think it's too cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I have my map out and I have my little measuring stick thing. And I've been keeping track of our travels.
A fellow studier of the sciences.
Oh. Well, no, not at all. Actually, he looks around. Are you talking to me?
Yes, you're a map man.
Well, that is only because I am interested in knowing this world better, and I'm quite good at not getting lost. But yeah, that's about what I study. I also study mostly on how to slay dragons, pretty much.
Listen, man, it's a compliment.
Is that wait, Rasmus was, and I'll say in Elvish, was he complimenting me or was? And what does wet your whistle mean?
Back in Elvish, I'll lean over and give him the quick rundown of what the expression means, and say, yeah, it seems like he's trying to compliment you.
Harmony's gonna respond in Elvish. Yeah, that's closest to a compliment as Hugo gets.
Oh,
Okay, I'll nod and say, "Oh well, thank you, Master Hugo. Do you study the maps too, or what is more your brain interested in?"
Magic. I love magic.
So wait a minute. Are you saying that now, Gertu, we finally have a true spellcaster who wants to join us and probably has at least an 11 intelligence?
Wait a second. Do you like fire too?
Oh yes, fire is quite lovely. There's nothing better than burning up a bunch of people with that. Yeah.
Nice.
If they deserve it, of course.
Yes.
Oh, they
of
usually
course.
do too. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Hugo,
The ones that I'm fighting usually almost 100% deserve it.
not to interject on your communal burning folks, but Hugo, can you identify things?
Oh, yes, I can. Something I learned in my studies. He sort of picks his little glasses up to the bridge of his nose.
Well, we have a few things that, like I said, we don't know what they do.
We haven't even looked at the scrolls I got.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
We got that blue scepter. And I gotta say, it projected a dragon into the sky, and the dragon was awfully real. It definitely hit hard, and I look over at Spectre, and it electrocuted Spectre there. And Gale.
I was okay.
No, it hit me with, if I remember correctly, like 80 hit points of damage.
It was 60.
It felt like 80.
The scepter did this.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, so there was a guy holding the scepter, and from the scepter, it was like, this way called it a flashlight, you remember? It projected, I don't know what, I'm not good at this. It looked like a dragon, and acted like a dragon, but it wasn't really a dragon.
Alright, well, let me get my horse all set up, and I'm gonna come back over, and I'm happy to take a look at some of your stuff.
Are you guys hanging out here, or are we gonna get on the road and show you where these hills are?
I think we should get going.
And we did. I will remind you all that we did burn a fair few of our resources in that last bout. There's an argument to be made that we don't go straight there if there's some nearby place of safety, or at least a village we could hole up in and then bank off road. It's an
Well,
option. It's up to you guys.
If I remember correctly, that from living here, that on Sundays, that as long as it's a safe place, then maybe we could take a long night's sleep.
Yeah, which we're not gonna find in the middle of fucking nowhere out in the.
But to your point,
Grassy
because you're so smart, that this place might be a place of safety if we pay money.
Certainly an option. Do we?
I think so, yes.
How long did it take us to get here?
From the last time you stopped?
From like we got up in the morning. How long have we been traveling today?
7 hours.
Oh, so we're almost done anyway. Yeah, that makes
Yes.
perfect sense. We stay here.
Yeah, I've been sleeping here for the last couple of days.
Yeah,
What's your arrangement with these people? Do they have you work for it, or?
Well, we volunteered to help them out. There's every once in a while there's some stuff that comes out of the fort there, bad stuff, and we told them we'd happy to help. I was doing a little bit of scientific research here, and he again pokes up his glasses. But
we're interested in portals.
yes, portals. But and there's rumors to be some in that fort, so I wanted to check it out, but that was before the note came, so. But they're just letting us stay here, and we offered to help them if any baddies come out.
Nice. Go let them know that we want to stay a night too, then, if you don't mind.
I'm sure they'll let you because you're our friends.
All right, Omni, you go ask them.
Good first impression.
So it sounds like you guys' plan here is you're agreeing to work together, and you're going to try to find accommodations to stay here at the garrison outside of Dragonspear to spend the night before picking up in the morning and then trying to make your way over to Serpent Tail's stream.
Yes.
Yeah, and I
I
think
don't know about you guys, but I'm at like half resources for everything. So
no, it's a good idea.
If we can resupply here, that would be ideal.
Especially if we can cut across, because that's going to
Yeah.
save us 100 miles of travel. So 8 hours of sleep would be worth it.
Okay, in the essence of time, what we will say here is Armini is able to speak with some of the folks inside who, while they might not necessarily be best friends with Armini, she certainly seems to be very happy and positive. And in fact, yes, they make some accommodations for you. It's very common. It's sort of like straw beds under, think of almost like stable type area, not really official housing, anything along those lines. But you guys are able to long rest, so we'll go ahead and apply that to you here as you are resting in a protected area of safety. So we'll apply a long rest to the group.
Adam, is it possible for me to identify their stuff before the long rest, just to use up the spell slots?
You can, yeah, or ritual cast, either way, sure. And what is it specifically that the scepter?
Yeah, and then
Yeah, whatever they want to give me.
Yeah, the scepter for sure, because that was pretty cool what it did. I don't know about anything else we have, but I do know we have those 2 scrolls that we got from Arathator's lair that we found in the treasure hall, if that helps you locate what those scrolls are, Adam.
That does indeed, yes. One moment. Maybe not. That word does not appear in the treasure hall of Arathator's lair. You said 3 scrolls or 2 scrolls?
2 scrolls. I'm pretty sure that's where we got them, right, guys?
Sounds right.
Yes, that is where we got from the frozen ground where we were spending 6 hours.
So I don't see any listed there. If you recall, right before you guys went down,
Wait.
you remember the ice
Yeah,
caves?
it wasn't in the treasure. I thought McCath gave them to us. Or is that not correct? I thought she gave us something.
No, she gave us that blessing or whatever, but
Oh.
no, I have it in my notes here, Adam, and it's in the like list of things that we got from the lair. So
Yeah, I thought we got him from the lair.
So the
Yeah,
list
if
I
you-
got from the lair is the scimitar, studded leather armor of resistance, the chain shirt, and then the ion stone. I don't have any scrolls.
Those were the
in
only
here.
magical items, Adam, but you also listed like art and jewelry and
Yes.
things like that. I think it
Yeah.
was in with that pile.
Yeah, if you look in the treasure distribution channel and you go up to the Arathator's lair objects, you'll see I have 2 scroll cases there. Underneath the 20 precious stones, which, by the way, we probably should identify those and see if any of those are good for spell casting, like diamonds or anything. I don't know what spellcasters need for materials.
Okay, so just being completely honest, I don't see any scrolls listed here. However, what I will say is there are scrolls listed that were in the ice caves. So Orthorder's lair is separate from the ice caves. The ice caves is kind of the first layer, and then there was Orthorder's lair. So because I don't know exactly what those scrolls were, I'm just going to pick 2 random scrolls from this list that you guys could have found there, and we'll use those. So
Cool.
Somebody roll me a D10, please. Okay, so the first scroll, Hugo, you're able to identify this as a scroll of gaseous form. And then another D10. And this one is a scroll of protection from energy.
This will turn you into a cloud, and this one will make you resist some sort of types of energies.
Then I will also need from you, Hugo, a blind check. All right, as you cast your Identify ritual on the scepter or flashlight that the group has provided to you, you can tell that this item has been specifically warded against identification, so your Identify spell does not work.
Ugh, there's some weird stuff going on with this thing. It's not working.
Is there a way to break the ward?
Based on that Arcana check, Hugo, as Spectre sort of asks this or wonders this, perhaps, you know, it's potentially you could use Dispel Magic to break the ward, though depending on the strength of the caster that set the ward, your Dispel Magic would have to be potent enough to try to destroy it. If not, you would still have a chance, but if you didn't succeed, you wouldn't be able to try again until you gained a level.
And what about just attuning to it anyways, even if we don't know what it is? Because that's another way
do
of...
that, but yes,
Yeah.
you won't necessarily learn everything immediately because it's worded, but any special abilities it has requires attunement, yeah, you would be able to use those if you can tell what they are.
What happens to someone who attunes to it when the ward is still in place, though?
Or some ill effects that might come from the concept, the effect of. Never mind.
Well, let's be honest, it would probably affect me the least because I'm a Dragoran.
I'm fully in favor of using Kurtu as a thing for this.
I was just going to say, if it did work, though, I mean, imagine being able to summon a dragon on our side. That would be excellent.
I mean, just be careful, because I have never seen any sort of wards or anything like that, or anything else I've identified, so somebody's definitely very paranoid about this scepter, or, you know, just be careful. That's all I promise you that I don't know what it does.
Fair enough.
Hey, Kurtu, I thought he was the guy who did not dump his intelligence stat.
Be nice to him. He's the F&G. We have to be nice to them.
Yeah, so I can do that. Thank you for trying, Master Hugo.
Oh yeah, of course.
Sorry for my broken common. I am taking classes as common as second language, so there's a bit of stuttering that occurs.
Andy was hit really hard before. Lots of damage.
Yeah, I had a cousin that was like that.
Adam, can we say in the next morning, Rasmus maybe went around to a few of the people in the garrison around the encampment and asked about the plains to the east and if there's anything dangerous that they should know about or anything like that, or is it, just wide open kind of range?
Yeah, sure. Give me a blind check to represent your persuasion efforts in talking with the folks here.
Here we go. Oh, got my measuring tool. Sorry.
So you find that most of the folks here are a little bit quiet when you first start talking to them, and it takes you a little bit of sort of breaking the ice before they kind of let their guard down, and we'll talk about anything real or anything that might be considered valuable knowledge. But yeah, the general consensus you get is that the plains are more dangerous to travel on than the road, but not necessarily particularly dangerous. They let you know there's a lot of rolling hills there. It's kind of grassland, and then sometimes it's more patchy or sparse, and it's more kind of just dirt. But yeah, a lot of rolling hills up until you get to the Serpent Hills themselves, which are more like small hills up to mountain size. So yeah, again, it's not obviously patrolled or anything like that, so your chances of running into creatures, monsters would be higher going that way than it would be on the road. But yeah, nothing like super dangerous to the best of the people here's knowledge.
And it would be manageable for the carriage because, I mean, even though it's rolling hills, it's still firm ground. It's not like a rocky shale or nothing like that.
It's not, I mean, there are some areas that are rocky, they would let you know, but not to the point where that's the predominant feature. They would tell you just to avoid any kind of gullies or valleys where the hills kind of go down so you don't get stuck in like mud where the rain would collect in those areas, softer ground. As long as you stay on the higher ground of the hills and kind of avoid any low valleys, they think you'd be fine.
Okay. I will relay this information to the driver because I think everybody's in agreement to just cut across the plains here, right, guys?
Yeah. We should probably tell Ben, though, because he was going to Candlekeep, and that's down here, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Hey, Ben, we got to talk.
All right, so yes, as you guys are sort of getting ready for your morning travels, and you ask Ben to meet you to discuss, you see he kind of walks up to you as he's been spend a little bit of time outside of the carriage here in the garrison, maybe doing a little poking around of his own, talking to some different folks. And yeah, he comes over your way and says, what is it? What did you want to talk about?
Plans are changing. We're going off-roading. It's going to be different direction than the way you want. Are you sticking with us, or are you making your own way?
Which way are you going?
We're going east, across the plains. There's something we got to do over there.
We hear there's great fishing over there, Ben.
It's the end of the road for you.
Straight east?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know that, you remember, I'm from Daggerford, and that area that you're talking about, that's called the High Moor. And I don't know if you know about moors or not, but they're a lot kind of wet and a little bit swampy sometimes. But the east side, southern part of the moor, not so much. But, closer towards the lake, it's really mushy. So, okay, if you're going straight east. But yeah, that's not the way that I want to go. So, I think this is where we part ways. I'm sure I can find some other accommodations here. And you see he kind of like looks the trail back the way that you all have come to the northwest. And kind of looks that way just for a moment as though a thought is running through his head. And then he looks back and he says, maybe the two new people, if you can just point me to somebody that's friendly here, I'm sure I can find accommodations.
Yeah, the sergeant right there. He's a
Sergeant Waze
real
is the coolest.
Yeah, he's a real sweetheart.
You notice Ben smiles and gives you this sort of little bit of a bow. Oh, thanks. That's very nice of you. I really appreciate it. You're really, really going to enjoy with these guys. I mean, they're all so positive, really nice, friendly people. I mean, they'll make you feel at home right away. You'll feel like part of the team. I mean, yeah. So, but best of luck, you guys.
Awesome.
I really hope that things work well. And, yeah, maybe, you never know. We might run into each other one day again. Probably not, but you never know.
Ben, Harmony, this guy's like you. Positivity.
Yeah, he's a ball of joy. All right, Ben. Thanks for saving my life and everything, man.
All right, I'm not
Safe
going to role play it. But for an hour, Kurtu is trying to talk Ben into staying with the group.
All right, fair enough. Give me a blind check here, Kurtu.
I'm going to spend the same hour trying to convince him to go.
Then he'll leave.
You can also make a check. So, Kurtu, I didn't get a roll came through there. Did you have your token selected?
Oh no, I didn't. Sorry, too much going on in the background on my end. Thanks.
No
Hold
worries,
on.
no worries.
Imagine the three of you just having it out.
You need to stay with us.
No, Ben,
So,
really, you
it
should go.
turns out that Kurtu is way, way more persuasive than Rasmus is dissuasive, or whatever the reverse of that would be. But yes, so you see he kind of pulls you off to the side eventually, Kurtu, and he says, well, you know, if it was like just you guys and not that Rasmus guy, I would totally go with you because you all do seem really good. But I don't know. I have the strangest feeling that if I like take one step out of the line, that I'm going to have an axe to the face. And I don't think any of you guys know how to bring anybody back to life, do you?
I just want to tell you it's been lovely getting to know you a little bit. You're so nice. Maybe we should get rid of Rasmus instead, but I don't know if that would work. So I just wanted to keep you in the group because you fit so well.
Oh, well, thanks. That's very nice of you. I have to say, it was very enjoyable, our conversations that we had during the travel. And, you do seem like you know a lot. I see why they made you the leader of this group, because clearly you have the smarts, and you know what you're doing, and you just have that force of personality that people gravitate towards you because you make good decisions, right? And you have ways of seeing things. So don't let your spirits ever get diminished. Keep that up. But I think it is best if I make my way towards Candlekeep, because that's ultimately where I'm going. And I have to say, even though he's not like the most positive guy, that Rasmus guy does seem like he's pretty tough. Like, I don't think I could put up with all the fighting that he did. I'm more of like a books guy, so, but maybe one day we'll run into each other again. You never know.
And, I'll just end on this. I love your words of wisdom, and which is really why I wanted to keep you.
And you see he gives a smile and gives you like a tap on your shoulder as sort of a sign of affection. Well, like I said, I really appreciated that, but I'm going to go talk to that sergeant guy and see if I can't get a horse. And, well, it's not too much farther to camp, but it kind of is. But, maybe I'll stop by Baldur's Gate. I've heard some good things there. But either way, I really wish you the best of luck. And, well, I don't think you know the sending spell, but if you do, or if you eventually learn it, feel free to contact me anytime.
Sounds great. And regardless, we made another friend. Take care.
And he waves you goodbye as he makes his way over to Sergeant Ways.
Harmony takes him aside and says, if anything comes out from the depths of this place, you may want to have some healing ready.
You're telling that to Ben?
Yeah, because that's what Harmony's been doing here.
You notice this kind of piques his interest, and you see he looks over towards the fortress of Dragonspear, which lies in ruins here. So again, think of this as like a big building that's kind of crumbling down. There's an obvious entrance. It's very much cordoned off with like palisades and these like very large wooden logs sharpened to points pointing towards you. Like everything is set up with a defense in mind that if something should rush out of there, that people can react really quickly. They'll have a good line of sight on it. And you see this kind of like piques his interest for a moment. He looks in that direction and then turns back to you. Oh yeah, well, I'm not much of a healer, but I am a protector. Maybe I'll stay here for a little bit, because I wonder what's inside those walls.
Yeah, we were intrigued as well.
Oh, well, just so you know, sometimes people aren't as nice as like you are, but, I'm sure you'll overcome it. Just get them with that positivity. But yes, but best of luck for you.
From off in the distance, he says, "Hey, Harmony, you want to ride up here on top with me?"
Yeah. Thanks for the invite.
Oh my
And-
God.
She turns around back to Ben and says, "Kill him with kindness." That's what I always say.
And he gives you a friendly smile and wave goodbye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, so you have completed your long rest. You have, Ben has stepped off of the carriage and looks like he's either going to be here or heading to Candlekeep. I'm sure you guys would be real interested. Maybe I'll keep that as like a side journal, The Adventures of Ben. I know Rasmus will really enjoy that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that maybe in the future. But is there anything last minute you guys would like to do before we take our break and then pick up on the other side?
Is there shit to buy here? Like, are they willing to part with equipment, or do they need it all for their...
There's not really shops, but they'd be happy to sell you sort of basic supplies. Think rations, think horse feed, think water, water skins, that kind of stuff, but not like weapons. You could get arrows, sure.
I'll buy 40 more arrows, so 2 GP.
Eggs.
You could find some eggs. Yes, they certainly have provisions here for the soldiers of the garrison, so yes, you could certainly find eggs.
Could I find a whole turkey to take with us so I don't have to worry about eggs?
Like a live turkey? Probably
yeah,
not.
just kidding. Yeah, just kidding.
So can we just say we restock with water and some? I guess we have enough rations, but just water. I don't want to go across the plains and.
Well, we're picking up 2 new people. How much do they have? It's
Yeah,
gonna
but
add
we have
to our...
we've got a barrel of water, guys, and
Dude, Dylan, I know. I just don't want Adam to say like you guys didn't get water at the last place.
No, I wouldn't do that to you.
So let's just make sure we have enough water and stuff for the next,
We're gonna need to add supplies for the 2 new people.
we'll refill our barrel. How about that?
Yeah,
you can do that. Yeah, no charge for getting water.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna restock on different rations and everything. Hey, Adam,
I've got
what about
30 rations? So I should probably take off some of those, right?
I think you guys were saying you were storing some of those in the carriage, so as long as you know how it's divided, you certainly got plenty of space for storage on the carriage.
He means he's been eating them, but I mean, we can find you. Yeah.
Hey, Adam, would it be realistic to get another, like a wheel or something for the carriage?
You mean like a backup wheel, just in case a wheel
broke? Yeah.
That's probably, I mean, it is realistic, but would it be here? Let's put that to fate. How about 50% chance, roll D100, pick high or low before you roll, and if it matches what you picked, then yeah, they have a spare wheel here for your carriage that they will sell you.
That's good. That's good thinking, Bill.
Yeah. Here's a surprise. I'll go low, right?
Can I also find some like 2x4 boards too, Adam, for the same reason?
Sure, that I would say you don't have to roll. You can find some spare lumber as they're using that to build the scaffolding on. They've got plenty. So we'll call it a gold piece per pound of lumber and consider that like 2x4. So however many pounds you want to buy, 1 gold piece for that. And yes, Kurtu, you find an extra wheel for your carriage. For that, they'll charge you, say, 10 gold pieces.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that, Adam, and I'll also go ahead and just spend 1 gold just to restock on rations, just to call it good.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, same. How many rations do you guys have, Libby, Noah?
I just have 5. So should I buy more?
No, we have. I'm thinking, if each player, right, on their character sheet has, let's say 10, right, and then you include, let's say 30 on the cart, then I mean we have enough rations for sure.
We bought the rations with the intention of going back though, or at least making the 30-day journey. It's 30 days back to Waterdeep, so either way, we're adding 2 new people. We're going to need to buy rations at some point.
I guess that's fair. I would say maybe have 10 days worth of rations on your person, just in case we get separated from the cart, too.
I have 10, and I can also create good berries, which provide enough nourishment to sustain someone for a day.
You was bloody and look like grapes.
Oh, gosh, no.
Arjun likes them.
They're gross.
They're delicious.
But also, we don't long rest as frequently in this campaign, so.
Yes, very true.
Yeah, I mean, I'll buy however much 5 rations cost. I don't know how much it is.
It's 2 days for 1 gold piece is how I remember it.
That sounds right.
Okay, so 2.5 gold.
Or you just make 6. I have 25, and I've been counting down my personal rations. So
Yeah, I've got 20 on me, so Rasmus
Alright.
is good. We got a brand new barrel of water. We added, like 7 good pounds of lumber for any emergency repairs or in case we need to roll over some mud. And then I think Kurtu, did you buy that
Yeah,
wheel
I paid
out of
for it.
yours? All right,
Yeah.
cool. So then we've got an extra wheel
and
too,
the
just in case.
horses are going through grasslands, which is always pretty good.
Speaking of that, Adam, we should probably buy. I don't know if anybody's proficient with it, but we should still have a set of carpenter's tools. Is that possible? Can we find like some mallets and stuff?
You could here, yes. They have plenty of that. Again, workers doing that. So yeah, they could certainly sell you a set of carpenter's tools.
Okay, I'll take care of that. There we go. So we should be packed up and ready. I mean, it does sound like we might get in a sticky or muddy situation, but it'll be faster.
And
we-
just to clarify, when you guys leave here, is your plan to go straight east, or are you trying to get to the river, Serpent's Tail Stream, to follow?
I want us to go to the
Yes.
river because that's
Yeah.
what the note says.
I
So,
agree. I think
yeah.
right here.
So you're basically cutting across only the southernmost part of the High Moors. Okay, perfect. Okay, so with that in
The
mind,
part that doesn't look as heavily shaded as the rest, Adam.
The safe part.
the drier part, yes. So, all right, with that in mind, you guys are making your way over there. Is there any last-minute preparations before you guys continue moving?
Yeah, we're
I'm-
gonna check the oil in the car and make sure. Okay, no, sorry.
I'm gonna rotate the tires. Yeah, I guess
Alright.
a good once-over of the cart is good, Adam. Make sure that nothing's broken or damaged or looking bad.
Your driver
sure
seems
Ben
like
didn't
he's
climb that
taken
up.
care of that the whole time. So, yes, he has no concerns. He would let you know everything's still in tip-top shape. Each night as you guys stop, he kind of does like a little maintenance on it as well.
Harmony places a finished flower crown on Kurtu's head before we head off.
Is this a lucky one?
It's the leadership crown. When
Oh,
you
but-
die, someone else has to wear it.
I like it then.
You're welcome.
Hey, Libby and Noah, do either of you need healing? I have 3 healing potions. I don't mind sharing the wealth if needed.
I've got 4 also.
I have 1 already, so
I have
good.
1, I think.
Okay, cool. Okay, just want to make sure everybody had at least 1.
Okay, so let's see. Who is our next victim here? It's going to be Harmony. So, Harmony, go ahead and roll me a D100, please.
Ooh, right into the new folks. I love it. We already know 100 is not good, so.
Knowing Adam a 1 isn't good either.
All right, so you guys leave here from the Dragon Spear, the garrison right outside of this. You make your way crossing the plains, getting to know your new companions, probably sharing some tales, that sort of thing. The travel is a little bit slower because you're not on a road. You're kind of making your way over the plains for the most part. There's a little bit that's hilly, so you're having to traverse that, but still making pretty good time. After traveling for approximately 6 days-ish, you guys get to about there when off in the distance, who is sitting up top at the moment?
Well, I would like to be sitting up top with the driver because sometimes I have gas.
Yeah, I think Gale sits with the driver, and then Rasmus is always on top of the actual carriage, like the body of it, which is where most of the stuff is stored. So I don't know how much room is up there for another person.
All right, so
Then-
you're looking backwards, though, right, Rasmus? And Gale, you're looking forward?
Yeah, makes
That's
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's been going so far, yeah.
Okay, and there's plenty of
But
room
I
in
would
the
say-
middle, so is the rest of the team in the middle of the carriage, or is there anybody else that's on the outskirts of the carriage?
No, I think Hugo's just riding his own horse, so he's just riding alongside the carriage.
Okay, so, and then is there anybody else that has a special travel situation, or are you just in the middle of the carriage? So I'm assuming everybody that hasn't mentioned so is the middle, unless you speak up.
Be in the carriage.
Okay, fair enough. So that is where everybody's at. So as you make your way travel, after about 6 days of travel, you're in the middle of day 6, having traveled for about 3 hours when the 3 of you outside, so this will be Hugo and Gale, I guess, yeah, Rasmus, you probably don't notice this right away because you're kind of watching backwards for anything to come around your tail. So really just Hugo and Gale, you're going to notice a large rock in the direction that you're heading, and it looks like there is a glowing rune on this rock that is just sort of sitting here in this little bit of a dip before it raises into a hill. And as you spot that and kind of maybe look at it, maybe look at each other like, well, that's strange. What in the world is that? That's where we'll go ahead and pause and take our 15-minute break, folks. So 15-minute break. We'll see everybody back on the other side.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
See ya.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of the session. So, group, you're currently traveling across the drier parts of the High Moor as you're making your way closer to the Serpent Tail Stream. After about 6 days of traveling away from Dragonspear, you guys have stumbled into this very strange looking rock that has this odd glowing rune in the path that you are currently traveling.
And how far away are we?
When you first spot the rune, so this again would be Gale and Hugo. When you first spot the rune, you're about 60 feet from it.
Oh, I'll say, hold up, driver. Hold on a sec. Could you please stop the bus?
He does.
Yeah, that's not normal.
What do you see, Master Hugo?
It's a glowing rock over there.
You're the one who did not dump your intelligence stats, so what do you think it is?
Am I able to see the runes on it?
It is a single rune that is quite large, but again, you're about 60 feet away, so you can't make out great detail. All you can see is it's kind of glowing, which is why you can see it at all. If you wanted to investigate it or try to determine what it is, you'd probably have to get closer, more like the 10 or 15 feet away mark.
So I'll also guys, wake up down there. Hey, Rasmus, look, there's a funny looking shiny thing, and maybe Hugo and I are going to take a closer look.
Yeah, I heard you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Hugo and Kurtu are probably the two best at any magic stuff, right? Maybe Kurtu should go too. Spectre can make a shot from here.
You want to go closer to it?
Well, yeah, of course I want to go closer to it. Can you see what it is from way back over here? Oh my goodness.
Is it in the direction that we're traveling, Adam, ahead of us, or is it off to maybe the north or the south?
So the
Could we
path
pass
that yeah, you certainly do not have to go towards it. Again, you're in the open kind of plains here. So the path that you were taking, again, you're kind of navigating around different areas and low points and that kind of thing. And it is directly south of you when you spot it, and you were kind of going south to move around in other obstruction. So you could go backwards the way you came and go, swing wide around it. You could swing wide west around it if you were really worried about it. But yes, if you just continue on your current course, you're going to come within 10 feet of it.
And if I stand up on the back of our carriage and look over in the direction of the rock, are there multiple rocks surrounding it, or is it just a single rock, like a boulder kind of out on its own?
It's a boulder kind of out on its own, but it's near a little cliff facing. There's another smaller size rock kind of close to it. There's some brush nearby. There's some hill nearby. So it's not just the only thing, but it's really the glowing rune which has caught your eye. That certainly sticks out from everything else around here.
Okay. Obviously Rasmus knows that he can't decipher the rune or anything, and he's too far away. But can he maybe take in the surroundings, see if he sees any, maybe shadows from behind some of those rocks, or anything that he can see that it feels off before they just go and investigate?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a blind check as you, from the top of the carriage, just look around, see if you can see anything. As you scan around from the top of the carriage off to your east, where this hill rises, you notice what looks to be some fairly large depressions in the ground. Your first thought is maybe large footprints of some kind?
Well, I don't see anything too concerning except for those. I mean, they don't look normal. Kind of look like
What?
footprints. You see them there?
Giant footprints, like bigger than mine.
Big enough for me to see from 60 feet away, yeah.
What?
Over there.
Oh, okay. Well, I try to see, but I can't because I want to go look further. And Hugo has. I saw you have armor on underneath your robes, so you must have some idea about confrontation.
Yeah. But, where I'm from, sometimes it's best to just avoid things, because most things are trying to kill you.
Maybe it'd be best if we go and investigate the footprints, because then we know what may be around us.
See, this is why he's the leader.
Yep, that's only one of many reasons, but you're right.
How far away is the potential footprints from the boulder with the rune on it, Adam? If give or take an
eyeballing
approximation.
it, maybe 100 feet.
Okay, and does it look like it's going in the direction of the rune, or is it hard for me to make out?
Yeah, from this distance it'd be impossible to see which direction the footprints are going. It's just because of their large size that you're able to spot them from this angle at all. But yeah, to get an idea of like facing or direction of the footprints, you'd have to get closer.
Adam, is there any check I can make to see if there's any eggs I know that maybe have runes on them?
Any eggs? You're wondering if the rock might be an egg?
Yeah, kind of. Yep.
Sure. Yeah, give me a blind check for nature.
What the heck? You got me on that one, Bill.
No, this looks like a rock to you from this distance. Again, you're quite a distance away as you guys are all, trying to be careful here. It doesn't. It just looks like a rock. Nothing sticks out to you that make you think of a dragon egg or any kind of large egg.
I don't know the shape of the egg. I mean, excuse me, the rock, Brian. Maybe it was pooped silly. I don't know, right?
No, I really usually I follow people's stuff. That one got me for some reason.
Oh. What do you want to do, guys?
I'll go look at it. Fine. But someone else come with me in case it explodes.
So, Hugo, are you riding your horse up to it, or are you dismounting, keeping your horse back as you approach?
I will dismount my horse and leave the horse by the cart. And
I am coming with you. You're not going by yourself.
I'll climb up on the top of the cart. The top of the cart is open, right?
It is, but it has a bunch of supplies up there at the moment. So, I mean, you could certainly be there, but if you were trying to be super nimble or something like that, you might have a bit of a challenge.
Well, I'll slide off to give him more space, and then I'll just kind of stand in front of the cart and, keep my eye towards where the search group is going. But I'll stay by the cart, but I'll let Spectre get on top and have better footing.
Before Hugo goes, Armony is going to cast guidance on him.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and click that as you say your prayer and reach out, touching upon Hugo.
Thank you, Harmony.
Okay, so I've got Hugo and Gale approaching closer to the rune rock. I've got Rasmus in front of the carriage. I've got Spectre on top of the carriage. How about Kurtu and Harmony? Where are you trying to be approximately?
Harmony is picking flowers around the back of the carriage.
Okay.
And Kurtu is wearing his nice flowery, crown, and he's going to be like 15 feet in front of the carriage. But I don't want to get too close to that rock because Hugo just said if it blows up, right? So I don't think that's a good idea for me.
Okay, so as the two of you approach, so Hugo and Gale, you're both getting closer to this rock, eyeing this rune very cautiously. This seems very strange to you. I'd like both of you to give me blind checks.
Did I click it properly?
No. Make sure your token's selected and give it a try again. So I'm seeing the text, but I'm not seeing your info come through.
So I'm clicking. I'm clicking my icon at the top right, but
So you clicked the token, and then on the top left where it says blind
I
check.
am in the ruler view.
Ah, that'll do it. Yep. Okay, that worked.
Gale's rubbing off on me, guys. I'm in character.
So Luddite.
So as both of you approach this rock and you're eyeing it, you're being cautious. I imagine you're sort of moving slowly. You're trying to be very careful. You're about 10, 15 feet away from it, approximately, something like that, when you suddenly realize there is this really strange odor in this area. And as you kind of sniff it and start to realize, what is this? It smells like unwashed bodies. And it's at that moment that there is suddenly movement. You can feel it nearby you, but you see nothing. But there's something very large nearby you. So team, as you guys are in the back there, you don't have an opportunity to notice this. You will be surprised. Gale and Hugo, you are not. You both made your perception checks, so you smell this and essentially know that something is there before they have a chance to react. Let me go ahead and move you guys over to the map.
No.
And just for my clarification on a ruin, it's like writing etched into the rock, right?
Correct, yes. In fact,
Or symbol.
I think it's like that, but upside down on the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is not the symbol that we got from Dahlia.
Okay, and everybody else, feel free to take a look at where I have you based on what you've told me where you're at. If anybody disagrees, feel free to holler, but that is approximately where I heard you say you are. And with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and throw initiative.
All right.
Nice. Showing out. First time up, Hugo.
Indeed.
Does Harmony still need to do anything for initiative rolls?
Yes, yep. So So for everybody, not everybody knows this yet, but Harmony unfortunately has disadvantage on her rolls, and the script doesn't pick that up. So yes, go ahead and throw me another. Okay, there we go. So that's what will stick.
Oh, is that a flaw from that?
It is, yes.
Oh, that's a bad one.
All
Not the
right.
worst.
No, it's not. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So so the way this worked out is pretty interesting. But let me go ahead and get some battle music on here. Okay, so Hugo, as soon as you smell this odor, you are the quickest to react. That is where you're at the moment. What would you like to do?
Okay, and you said I could sense the ground of something moving, right?
Correct, right? Like the ground literally is shaking in this general vicinity, like as though something very large is moving close by, but just for a split second when you're able to act quicker than it.
Okay, so Hugo's gonna yell out, "Something big and invisible's over here!" And then he's going to cast, I guess, web in that general direction.
All right, let's see if web is one of ours on Smart AoE. It is, yes. All right, so if you don't remember how to do this, I know it's been a while. Make sure your token is selected, and then over there in the bulleted list icon, you'll find a macro called cast-web. Click the die while your token is selected, and it should pop up with a prompt.
Okay, I actually don't see web.
Let me double check and make sure that one is visible to you. Oh, it is not. Okay, that would solve that problem. So how about now?
Yep. I hit it. Let me see. Oh, do I have to hit in bar, right? I have to.
As long as your token is selected, let me just test it real quick and see if it's working. Yeah,
Oh, there it is. Now I see it. Yeah.
So that one worked for me. Are you able to move that? Probably not, because I clicked that. Oh, you can. Okay, perfect. So yeah, feel free to target it where you like.
Okay. So I will cast it here.
All right, so go ahead and hit trigger all with that little targeting icon selected. Okay, so as the webs stretch out and cover this area with sticky webs, let me just read this real quick.
A fancy little art in the bar.
Yes.
A little spider webs.
yeah.
Cute.
All right, so... interesting. Okay, yeah, so I will say what you hear, Hugo, as the webs kind of strike, and what you see, probably more valuable, is the webs all in this area kind of just strike the ground. There's kind of like a clump of webs, but right here, you notice them sticking to something up vertically where logically they shouldn't be able to stick to something. So your idea of something invisible there seems to be true.
Okay. So he'll point that out, and then he'll run back a little bit. He goes, "All right, you're up." He runs back. And then I don't have an end my turn button.
That one you will want to do in bar, so just go ahead and go to your bulleted icon list again, and you should find one called End My Turn.
Okay.
And just click that in bar, and then you should be good to go.
All right.
Alrighty, good deal. So, Gale, you see the webs hit, you see them sticking into this larger vertical space, and you saw what Hugo said. Your turn.
So why is this thing poking out of the ground? It's over here. I'm going to stand there, and do I see...
So
what does it look like?
as you push, so it's basically like this. You were here, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so you step like this, and you try to push this way, and you run into like a blubberous body to the point where you're like smack your face against bare flesh, and it reeks something awful. As you pull your face back, you've got like hair sticking in your mouth and just like spit, saliva all outside of your face.
Oh, that's disgusting. I draw my sword, and I'm going to swing it midair.
All right, go ahead and make an attack. Yes, your blade strikes true. So, this creature's invisible, which means you attack at disadvantage, but because it's currently restrained by the web, that cancels that out, and that is a crit. So go ahead and roll me a slashing crit.
Jump.
Love a canceled out crit
Slice.
that works in our favor.
Absolutely, yeah. Slice into... Okay, so damage is normal. Go ahead and post your damage. All right, so we will take 14 points of damage. And then it is... lose 1d6 hit points one time. So one more 1d6 at the start of its turn. Go ahead and roll that d6 now. I'm just going to apply this as a reminder for myself. Okay, excellent. So at the start of its turn, it's going to lose 5 more HP.
Excellent. I'm going to swing again. I hit something. Does it break the invisibility at all or anything?
It does not, no.
Okay, so that's a problem. So then I will go and swing again, I guess. And this time I will hit again.
Your blade does indeed slash into this bulbous flesh. Go ahead and make a damage roll.
All right, and I'm going to do, and as I swing down, I go, make yourself known, be scared of Gale for the rest of your life. And I'm going to do menacing attack.
Okay. That will certainly work. So yes, this thing is frightened of you, Gale, as your blade strikes into it. And we're going to take 10 points. It looks like you didn't post your... There you go. So 8, 22.
Yeah, so it would... Yeah, it's not plus... Yeah, it's only one dueling.
Right, so 22 damage. All right, yes, your blade carves into this flesh, strongly wounding the creature.
Okay, that is very good. And then I will stand my ground because that is my job, and he's afraid of me. I don't know where he is though, but he's somewhere over here.
All right, before Rasmus's turn. So, Gale, you will feel the ground around you shake mightily as a large creature seemingly is getting closer to you. As it does, you feel something large smashing down towards you. Defense roll at disadvantage, please. All right, you feel the presence of it come smashing down, and you sidestep it as a giant club suddenly appears, smashed into the ground where you just were. And you notice now a large giant standing here before you. He is sort of on the side of this hill. For ease of play, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to move this dynamic lighting line back a bit. So we'll do it that way. All right, so this attack has missed. However, a second strike comes down upon you. Now this one will just be straight up, so defense roll, please. Yes, you just at the last moment managed to duck underneath this strike. All right, you feel, again, more movement coming around. This time, however... Kurtu, as you're standing there nearby the horses and looking and noticing this large creature suddenly appears, give me a defensive roll at disadvantage, please. This massive force smashes into you solidly, Kurtu, as you are struck by a huge rock, suffering 16 points of damage as you notice that this creature suddenly appears above on top of the hill. Okay, and then we move to Rasmus's turn.
I'm surprised.
Oh, yes, thanks for that reminder. So Rasmus is surprised, Spectre is surprised. Okay, Gale, from right next to you, you are going to take an attack. Defense roll at straight up, please. All right, that will miss. And then another one at advantage now as you suddenly see this creature appear. Yes, and you managed to evade that as well. Okay, and then let's see. That's surprise, surprise. Okay, now we're to the top of the round. Nobody is surprised any longer. Hugo's turn.
I found them. They're over here.
Yeah, we can see them. Thanks.
Okay, good.
All right. Well, here we go. He's going to cast Fireball.
Yes.
Well, here we go.
I don't know how much, I'm concerned about the no long rest thing, but let's...
Yeah.
That's
it
half the
adds
fun
an
of learning
extra-
the house rules, right? You get into your sixth battle and you're like, cantrip?
So that's that's a smart AoE too, probably, right?
That one has to be. Yeah, I know we've used that one.
Yeah, we've used it. I can confirm.
Right.
Rasmus can confirm too.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And obviously, the darkness means the part of the hill that you can't see, but if you want to push it further back, meaning put it up in the air, you can do that.
No need.
I look back and I say, no, a little more to the north.
Also, one more thing. If you're going to sculpt spell or you have something like that, let me know, and I'll move any tokens out because the script's not smart enough to know that.
Yep, he is going to sculpt spell and sculpt it around his new friend.
And I'm like, no, a little more to the north.
All right, so temporarily I will move Gale out of the way. Go ahead and move it exactly where you like.
I will actually move it back just a little bit, just in case there's more behind there.
Okay. Is that good, or you want it further back?
That's good. But he will sculpt it around him, with a little wink. And then I just trigger all, right?
Yes.
Do I have to have my thing selected?
Yeah, I've never seen that happen where it goes off but nothing happens. Maybe try again. Yeah, make sure. Oh, you know what? The scripts actually just crashed. Let me restart the scripts.
Okay.
Talk about weird timing. Okay, go ahead and give that a try again.
Or it was so powerful, Kurtu, that it crashed the script.
That could be, yeah.
Yep.
There we go. Okay.
Nice.
All three of them will
God.
fail and are scorched by these flames. In addition, you'll notice that the web is burned away. There's probably some webbing still there, but most of it is burnt, and for the purposes of this, I'm going to remove that icon as any kind of hindrance.
Okay. Action surge.
Okay. Go ahead and burn that on your sheet.
I think I was there, right, Adam?
That is correct, yes. Okay, action surge.
And he's going to do it again. Another fireball right there.
All right, fair enough.
Oops.
You see Gale's face, like, just...
Yeah, the first flames, I imagine, brush towards him and suddenly circle around him. He's like, huh. And just as he takes a breath, he sees the next big blast of flames.
That is hysterical.
Is it giving you... Oh, okay, there we go. I see, I haven't seen that error before. All right, this time
Nice.
2 pass, but yes, you notice the one is looking very badly hurt as the other 2 are scorched but still on their feet.
And I run away even more. And you go, all right, done my part. And he started clapping his hands.
All right, fair enough. All right, we move to Gale.
What was that? Oh, that I'm just going to take my sword, and I'm going to hit the hill giant who's afraid of me.
Your
Oof.
blade will connect, and he actually had less HP than that 5 that was going to kill him next round, so he is slain.
Okay, well, that's pretty good. So I'm still here, so I'm going to move because I am still in melee. I'm going to go up here and enjoy the company of 2 giants because that's my job. And then I'm going to strike. It's 50-50 here. The one closer to the wagon, so this one to my north here, this
Northeast?
guy.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let me get my pointer. All right, I'm going to swing at it.
Nice.
Another
Oh my-
crit.
another
Yeah,
one.
let's go ahead and roll that.
We
Jeez,
forgive
Gale.
you for last week now, Gale.
It's like deja vu. All right, go ahead and post damage.
Oh, it's the same one.
It is, yeah. Okay, so he will take 9 points of damage.
There's my D6.
All right, 3 at the start of his turn. And he's literally right after you, so I'm just going to take that 3 off now.
Great. And I will also, after I hit, do the menacing. That might fail,
Wisdom save. He is not afraid of you.
but he gets 6.
All right, 6 more taken off.
All right, and then I stand there and say, "There's only now 2 left."
Okay, yes, these giants are not very happy, and the first one here is going to take his forearm and smash it towards you, Gale. I'll need you to give me an athletics check.
Okay.
Capacity's easy.
Now this can't be. It's strength on strength. I gotta burn my. Oh, I can't burn a reaction for this, right? Because it's not a saving throw.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. I'll take it.
He smashes his fist into you, knocking you prone. From there, he smashes down with his great club atop of you. Defense roll at disadvantage.
Oh man, Adam's coming for you, man. Oh,
Inspiration.
You burn your inspiration. Go ahead and re-roll that.
Oh,
Damn.
Critically
Oh,
hit.
man.
Ouchie. All right.
it was
so,
destiny, bro.
oh, I can't take critical.
Okay, so right, you're wearing adamantium armor, so this will just be a regular strike against you. So that'll be 23 bludgeoning damage on Gale. The next giant who you have hurt and is looking a bit wounded here is going to attack you twice with that great club as you're on the ground. 2 more at disadvantage. You're hit on that one for 20 points of damage, and 1 more. That one you manage to duck or just perhaps slide just enough out of
Roll.
the way that the club slams the ground instead. All right, we move to Rasmus's turn.
Okay, Adam could theoretically, with having the extra attack, I could throw a javelin, right? Move and then make an attack, right? Is that possible?
As long as you've got the hands for it, right? So what is in your hands right now?
Nothing, because I'm just standing in front of the cart. So it would be me drawing out my javelin and
So
then
you
throwing
can
it.
interact with objects, throw the javelin, rush up there, and then use your headbutt. Sure, you could do that.
Yeah, okay. That sounds like a great plan to me. So I see the one that just kind of slammed down at Gale. I couldn't really see because he's at the top of the hill whether or not he got hit, but I'm going to line up my javelin and just launch it at him.
And javelin's 30, right? So yeah, that will definitely hit. All right, that javelin pierces into the giant's arm, penetrating a wound there in his shoulder.
Okay, and Rasmus is going to run here, and for flavor, you guys see him kind of do like a running kind of jump, and then he's gonna bunny hop to this area, and then when he lands, he's gonna come up with a knee and try to, because he's got super hops, he's gonna try to catch the giant in the chin with his knee.
All right, okay, jumping like 16 feet in the air to try to ninja kick him to the chin. I like it.
Yeah. He's got the hops for it.
That'll hit, yes.
All right.
Yes, it does indeed hit him in the chin, and you see his whole face kind of turn to the side from the force of the blow.
And then I'm gonna do a key point to stunning strike.
Okay.
Now, I don't have it built in for a roll, so I'll give you a d20, right, Adam?
Yeah, you can do that. He is not stunned.
Okay. It doesn't require any extra attack to do that. It's just when I hit, I can
Correct.
choose. So, I'm gonna use. Let's do another key point, and we're gonna do a flurry of blows. So as I'm coming down, I'm gonna come down with one hoof, like right at his foot, and try to like super stomp his toe.
That will hit.
And then followed up with a headbutt right into his shin.
That will also hit. Yes, the giant has taken a pummeling here. He's looking like he's barely on his feet.
That is very good.
He says as dirt's just hitting him in the face from all this moving around of the giant.
I think that's everything I got.
All right, Spectre.
All right, do I have enough room up here to shoot from here, or do I need to get off the cart first?
Oh, no, you can certainly shoot from there.
How difficult would it be to get off the cart, though?
Difficult terrain. Counted as an extra 5 feet as you dismount from the cart.
Sure. I will shoot at the wounded one here, attempt to kill steal.
All right, fair enough. You shoot at the wounded giant.
Well, I'm up here. Might as well, because they're giants, right? I have no problem seeing them from where I'm at.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
It's like I'm talking to Gale. Did you see my sweet combo attack as
I'm rolling around on the ground.
That does indeed connect.
I'm gonna use the sneak attack anyway.
Okay, and having used sneak attack, that arrow will catch the giant in the throat, and you see he will grasp at it as his body falls massively to...
Oh no!
Oh god, we did this again.
It falls to the northeast-ish, so no impact on anybody here, as it kind of slams in the ground, and he is slain.
To be fair, Spectre wasn't there for that, so... You know. You live and you learn. So I will take my second shot at the other one.
Okay. That will also connect.
For 6. And then I will hop off the cart, so 5, 10, 15, and just shelter behind here. I will take the hide action as my cunning action, even though, I mean, the giant can probably still see me from his vantage point, but whatever. We'll try.
You certainly got a chance to hide back there. Yeah, go ahead and throw me a blind check.
Go for it.
Okay, you try to remain unseen. Kurtu.
I so much want to use a fireball, but I'll save that. That was wonderful.
So I'm going to firebolt.
All right, you conjure up a firebolt at the last remaining one. You can go ahead and set yourself back to public, but yes, that will indeed connect. Scorching the giant.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead, Adam, and I'm going to sorcery point that for another one.
Okay, sure. Bonus action quicken spell for another. That will also connect. Yes, and the fire burns the giant once again.
I'll go there now in my turn.
Okay, and Armony's turn. You have found some very beautiful flowers back here, Armony, but then you notice there's a battle going on.
I'm like, what is that smell? Is my Disciple of Life already added into my...
That's the one that Disciple of Life? Let's double check. I know there's the one that heals you. Disciple of Life, is that the bonus heal?
Yeah, it's the extra plus 2 plus the spells.
Well, let's find out if you're going to cast it. Oh, no, I'm pretty sure that would have to be a global modifier.
Yeah, I can't tell what those global though, like one just says my name.
Yes, unfortunately that is not built in, but for right now, we'll manually do it for you.
Okay. Harmony is going to peek around the cart and see what's going on. Whoa, what's with all the dead giants? And she is going to aim for... Is that Gale?
Yes.
They didn't start out dead.
You see me rolling on the ground, avoiding club attacks.
All right, so you cast Healing Word, so that'll be 4 plus 3 more, so that'll be 7 HP back to Gale.
Oh, I feel good there.
It's better. Not gooder. Better.
As a reminder, Harmony, that there is a bonus action, so you still have your action if you'd like to do anything with your action.
Oh, snap. Let's cast a... So before I moved, because...
Yep.
Actually, I still have more movement, but... I'm going to cast a... Sacred Flame.
Sure, yes, and that should be built in as an attack. Let's double check and make sure we've got that set up right for you. There we go. Okay, so you cast Sacred Flame on the creature, and what I'll also need from you here, Harmony, with your token selected, at the top you should see a button that says Spell Effect Roll. Can you click on the Spell Effect Roll for me? Perfect, yes, and I'm pretty sure that is going to hit him. It is indeed, yes, that radiant energy will indeed burn the giant who is looking badly wounded.
Okay. So the initial intention was to step back behind the...
You can do so, sure. Okay, we are at the top of round 3, Hugo.
Okay, so seeing just one giant left, he just sort of steps forward 1 pace or 1 square, and says, "Do you like music? Listen to these bells, you big bastard!" He's gonna cast Toll the Dead.
All right, he's definitely wounded, so we'll see that second side of the dice. I swear, Toll the Dead's one that seems to always give me trouble with this sheet. Let's see if it works.
Yeah. Should I just click it from my spells?
Yeah, that should work.
It's just
So, did you click on the speech bubble or the text itself?
I just clicked on the text itself.
Try the speech bubble next to it. Yep, so this is the one that always does not work probably. Just give me 2 seconds. Whoops, sorry about that. Well, let me just fix your sheet here real quick.
And Hugo does have the potent cantrip thing now, so even if they save, they still take half damage.
And you're still yeah, so right, okay. Okay, let me just make sure this works. Right, so that's how we want it to look. Okay, so you can go ahead and click it once again. Let's see if did that automatically add it to your attacks? It did. Okay, so it's at the bottom of your attacks on the main screen. If you want to give that a shot, we'll just make sure that works. Okay, all right, so that would be the second side, and then I will just need a spell effect roll. So with your token selected, spell effect roll at the top button. Okay, that is a critical hit against the giant, so you can go ahead and roll a necrotic critical. And you probably don't have that in your bar either, so quick reminder, bulleted list on the top right corner. Find the one that says critical hit, and add that to your bar, click that button, and then it should give you a prompt for the damage type, and just follow the prompts. Okay, true crit. So go ahead and post that damage. And you can do that just by clicking on the... actually... Oh,
Yeah,
right,
it
no.
rolled
Already
it.
rolled. Yeah, twice.
Right, so just roll me another 2d12. Okay, so 28 points of necrotic damage. So yes, as the bells sound out, you notice this black energy seems to course through the giant's body, and you see the light of its life goes out of its eyes as it falls down upon...
That's gotta be good. It's the 8.
That unfortunately is not good, because 1 is here. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it falls right towards Gale. So Gale...
no, got the guy out of the way.
I used my reaction to telekinetically pull him away. I know it's not...
Sure, yeah, we'll give that a shot. Yeah, so what I will say is throw a spell effect roll. If you beat, we'll say 15... then we'll give Gale advantage on his save. Okay, that works. So Gale, give me a dexterity saving throw at advantage. So use your bonus action to reach out telekinetically and start to pull him backwards. The big lumbering body smashes down right on top of...
Well, Adam, I mean, he would be at disadvantage anyway, right? Because he's down on the ground?
I don't think that gives you disadvantage on dex.
When you're prone? I don't know. I think so. I just
want to double check.
I just want to kind of.
Oh my god!
I love
I always
really want to get
it. Friends like these, huh?
Well, wait a second. No, because I'm kind of joking around because Jordan did that once, and then Adam gave him inspiration for being honest or something.
No, that prone, that doesn't matter. No.
Well, see, attack roll against a creature has advantage if the attack. So if we call this falling body an attacker, then technically,
I don't know if that.
No, I'm kidding, of course. So yes, Gale, you are shunted backwards as the large body of the creature smashes down on the ground, and you see its lifeless face looking at you side to side as you are still prone.
Wow, that was a hell of a 6 seconds.
All right, battle seemingly is over, guys, as you see these 3 large bodies of these giants.
I will stand up and step back and say, whoa, where did they come from?
Adam, I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to listen for a little bit to try to see if I or try to see if I notice any giants walking or anything just by noise.
Sure, yes, blind check.
Is the rune still glowing?
It is, yes.
Ooh, guys, look at that glowing rock.
You
Think-
listen carefully here, Kurtu, looking around, just trying to keep your senses extended, see if you feel anything, see if you hear anything, or more likely, see if you smell anything. But other than the bodies of the dead giants, you don't see or smell any new giants.
Well, I'm just glad that most of us didn't get scathed during that battle.
Yeah, thanks for taking those hits, Gale.
20's
Well,
good for.
well, thank you for all of the fire and not hitting me. How would you that did that? You saved me from fire?
Yeah, I've learned how to sort of move the fire around the way I like it.
I'll give you an elbow check and say, finally a proper spellcaster.
And Hugo smiles, sort of oblivious to like the social aspect of that comment. He just thinks it's a nice compliment.
So are we still needing to be curious about this rock? We should make... Oh, there it goes.
I am.
But I'm wondering if it's what was making them invisible.
Dylan says Rasmus is pulling hill giant teeth. Or whatever kind of giants those are.
Yes, yeah, he can certainly do that. So we will assume that Rasmus has made his way up the hill and is performing some fantasy dentistry here.
You guys are
Harmony.
closer. Is this... You recognize this thing?
Adam, do I need to get any closer to do like an Arcana check or anything?
No, you are close enough there. Yes, you can make a blind check to see if you recognize this rune.
Can I make one as well?
You can, yes.
It's not actually trained in Arcana, but
So, Kurtu, you look towards this rock, and it obviously is a magic rune of some kind. Based on what you've just experienced, you have to assume the two are connected. You don't have conclusive evidence, but, I mean, it seems very likely. Hugo, you look towards the rune, and I would say you don't really draw any conclusions. Probably hearing your companions talk, you might have that same idea, but nothing specific.
Way to find conclusive evidence. Anyone want to touch it?
Yes.
I'll just be over here. I back off.
oh, Harmony, you never change.
Go ahead. I think that's a wonderful idea.
You do?
Yes, I absolutely think it is a wonderful idea. If you turn invisible, that would be so cool.
We're
I
about to
could
lose
turn you
everyone.
invisible too, though.
What kind of vibes is Harmony getting as she gets close to it?
Blind check.
She has a vibe skill.
As she gets closer to the rune, and after what she heard from Hugo, the vibe in her head is purplish lightning stretching across from one wall of a dungeon to the other, and the last time she just touched it to see what would happen.
Her eyes get really big, and she's like, it reminds me too much of lightning, and runs away.
Well, okay. Well, that's good, I guess. So we don't touch the rock, then we just stop to look at it. Can you make note of the way it looks, Kurtu? Can you make an etching in your book or something?
I can, but what's wrong with lightning?
It's freaking scary.
Well, the dragon last time had lightning, I think, and it hurt.
Oh my god. You saw a dragon that
Yes, we have
has
been
lightning?
Yes, we have been fighting. I'm sorry if you haven't. We have to keep you up to speed. We are fighting dragons.
I did not know that lightning
It's-
could be any scarier.
It's a different kind of lightning, Harmony.
All lightning is scary.
Adam, how big is the rune? And more specifically, is it cape size?
No. So this rock is probably a good 8 feet across, and it seems the rune takes up most of that. So say 7 feet tall.
Okay.
Hugo's gonna start searching the dead giants' bodies to see if they have anything.
They have these giant clubs, and they're wearing these sort of half-skin coverings of their lower parts. But you also notice these sort of large hide bags that seem to be tied up at their sides. Go ahead and roll me a D100 here, Hugo. You find a large haunch of meat. It looks pretty stale and old.
Old meat. Can make some jerky out of this, perhaps.
Give it
You
to
want-
Kurtu. He eats everything.
Even eat that stuff. That's old. I like fresh meat.
What about the
Or, you know,
driver?
Maybe just a few days old anyway. Maybe I admit that. That's got maggots, though. I mean, the maggots may be delicious, though. I don't know.
And delicacy across the sea.
Hey, Adam, I'm going to sketch the shape of the ruin into my cartography book, kind of as like a side note on the map of where we're at.
Okay, sure, you can do that.
And I'm sure I look very studious as I do.
All right, guys, so you've defeated these giants. You've checked out this rune a little bit. Is there anything else you're doing here before continuing on your way?
Well, I would like to ask both Kurtu and Master Hugo, what is a rune, and why does this happen to be sitting in the middle of Faerûn? I don't know this world very well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It must be something to do with these giants, I'm sure, but I don't really know much.
Well, let me educate you both. So this rune, sometimes these runes can cause, different type of magical effects, like I think this one here does. I think maybe it could have happened that these were normal people, and then they touched the rune and they turned into giants. I mean, that could have happened, or maybe it turned them invisible. I don't know. I mean, I'm willing one of you to touch it, though, to help investigate further. Yes.
But here's what I'll do. I'll try to figure out a way to detect the magic at least. And Hugo will start ritually casting detect magic.
Okay, yeah, so you get your stuff out and prepare for your 10-minute-ish cast. Anything anybody else is doing during this time?
I'll keep a lookout, listen for more giants or anything else approaching.
Okay.
Harmony is asking the horses if they're being taken care of well.
Okay, very interesting. So you gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions. All right, so as you ask this of the horses, this horse here lets you know that things are fine, food's good, but he doesn't like this horse. He thinks this horse is too big for his saddle, is what he says.
Okay, Harmony's going to talk to the driver about rearranging them.
And you realize that this one on the west here, this is the one that Hugo rides solo, and these are the two that are chained up, or not chained up, but connected to the carriage.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Then I'll just lead Hugo's horse away.
Fair enough. You give Hugo's horse a bit of distance, and yeah, it seems as though the other two maybe calm down just a bit. All right, the 10 minutes will then pass. Hugo, your detect magic spell will go off. Looking towards the rune, you definitely detect that it is magical, and looking at it carefully, it seems to be associated with illusion magic.
Oh, it's illusion magic. So maybe that invisibility theory is not far off.
What giant species?
Could I touch it? Do you think I could touch it?
You? Yeah, you seem tough enough. In case something goes wrong. I think we should look around maybe to see if there's any other invisible things here.
Well, would giants be smart enough to figure that out on their own, though?
All you have to do is touch it. You don't need to be smart.
We think.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So I'm going to reach out and touch it, Adam.
Okay, you reach out and touch it, and everybody will notice as Gale suddenly becomes invisible.
Wow, cool trick. Real original.
I'm going to try to be sneaky and walk over here. I'm probably still making a bunch of noise.
I forget which armor
like
you're
fucking
wearing. I'm pretty sure it's heavy,
adamantine
right?
Yeah, adamantine scale mail, I think. Yeah, splint.
Somehow I picture Gale like narrates his stealth. I move very quietly over here.
You cannot see me, Gertrude, but I'm right over here.
Guys, where did Gale go?
He's a little prankster.
I point exactly where he is, being familiar with.
My scent or something.
I wasn't gonna say your scent, but knowing your sounds and being invisible often myself.
So you notice Rasmus gets a get
Pinpoint.
closer to the rock and kind of analyzing it, maybe with thought in his head of like, could we take this with us? But realizing that this boulder is several hundred pounds, it does not seem feasible to lift the boulder from its current space.
Hugo takes out a crowbar and touches the rune with the crowbar.
Nothing happens.
So you can't just do objects.
Go ahead, touch it, Rasmus. It's fun. Do it. And I elbow you. Touch it. Do it.
He's thinking about it. It's almost as though thoughts are bubbling at the top of his head. Like 3 of them at a time. Yes, he does notice that there is rocks around, but not necessarily any odd rocks around, no.
Hugo will also just search the other 2 giants' sacks if that's not included in that other D100 roll.
It is not. Go ahead and roll me D100 twice. So, Rasmus, you look around for any other runes within the 30 foot. I've made a blind check for you as you search around this area. No, you do not see any other runes. This seems to be the only rune in this vicinity. Let's see. For Hugo, an 89. That one is, you find a giant-sized drum in his bag. And the third one, as you start looking through this bag, you feel it actually moves, and you back up momentarily, and you see a chicken suddenly pops up out of the bag and squawks and starts running away from you at top speed.
Oh, get it! Find the chicken!
Hugo looks concernedly at Harmony, see what she wants to do with the chicken.
Arnie's like way over here.
Kurt, do you want eggs?
Kurt uses mage hand and tries to catch the chicken.
Unfortunately, the mage hand is not effective at stopping physical beings like this. So you reach out and try to like maybe just distract it, but the chicken seems very persistent and it's running away from you guys to the northeast, squawking and just like moving as quick as it can, which is not super fast, but it's a decent pace, maybe 20 feet per round.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm on my phone. It looks like AT&T's got an internet outage, so I doubt it'll be up before the session ends, but I can pseudo play from here.
No worries. Yeah, if there's any rolls I need to make for you, just let me know.
How many teeth did I get, Adam?
Between the 3 of them, plenty enough for a necklace, if that's what your aim is.
Yeah, I'll just throw them in a bag for now, though.
Okay, sure.
With Harmony's speed, could she overtake the chicken?
Sure, yes. I mean, you don't think the chicken is like magical or anything like that. So if you have a persistent effort at catching it down, probably with 3-5 minutes of work, yeah, you can grab it.
And also yelling stop in chicken language.
The chicken seems a little bit too nervous or maybe flustered from having lived in a giant's bag to really want to speak with you. But
Just kidding on that.
but as you make your way over there, you're able to scoop it up eventually. It is very nervous at first trying to get away from you, but go ahead and give me a blind check for animal handling. We'll see if you're able to calm it down a bit.
The rare animal handling check.
As you're whispering sweet nothings in its ear through your speech ability here, giving you advantage, it seems as though this is not... the chicken is calming down slowly but surely. It has been a bit worse for the wear. It doesn't look like it's eaten much recently, and pretty much as it's trying to get away, the language, the very brief amount that it can communicate to you is pretty much food, water, food, safety, food, water.
Harmony's gonna take it over to the rotting meat and feed it some of the grubs.
Okay, yes, the chicken seems to be very happy to eat some of these grubs that are on this haunch of meat. And starts picking at it and kind of looking around nervously to see if anybody's trying to catch it again. But as you're calming it down, it seems to kind of stay here.
Gertrude, what should we name our new chicken?
Breakfast is always a wonderful day for a chicken.
Breakfast.
You have very skillfully discovered how to catch a chicken so that we may eat it. Very good.
I think, we would get more sustenance out of its eggs over time.
But how do you know if it's a boy chicken or girl chicken?
Because he didn't say a rooster ran away.
You can tell by the balls.
What?
I say without even laughing or anything. Just look between legs.
You guys are really good with animals, I can see.
Our animals are different where we're from.
Your chickens have balls.
Big ones.
Roosters have balls. Okay.
You never seen a fey rooster?
I guess I have to take your word for it because no, I haven't.
It's as big as a horse. The chicken, not its balls.
Look at this giant drum I found.
How big is it?
Let's see, a giant's drum, so probably 4 feet wide-ish by 2 feet tall kind of deal.
I want to share something random about Rasmus, but he's actually proficient in the hand drum. So
I don't know about this hand drum, though.
Play the shit out of that drum.
You might need 2 hands for this drum, but I'd say proficiency carries over.
This thing fits on the cart, right?
It does, yes.
That way we can strike fear into the... What was this dwarf's name again?
Verum. Wait, have we not? I think we could probably tell you guys what's really going on.
On the road, perhaps.
We are on the road.
Well, no, technically we're
traveling.
We're still standing around. Yes, we're fiddling with the hand drum.
Huh? Yeah.
We should probably get going before more shit shows up to ruin our day.
All right. Is he still invisible?
He is.
Does anyone else want invisibility before we take off? I'm gonna do it, I think. And Hugo just walks up and touches the rune.
You turn invisible as well.
He gets on his horse and then probably fix the horse out.
Yes.
Does the horse turn invisible?
No.
Oh, no, yeah.
And even if he makes it bump his little nose into it.
Should we make our driver invisible?
Can we bump his nose into it?
I'm trying to imagine how you lead a horse to a rock and be like,
Harmony can speak to him.
Harmony can do it.
Just put salt on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's creative. That would work.
He was
So-
like, "Come here, buddy." Leaves it over, and then pours salt on the rune and has it lick it off.
All right, the horse is invisible.
Oh yeah.
Harmony is a little busy making a harness for the chicken, and she's gonna keep breakfast on a leash.
So Kurtu is going to take off his cloak. He's going to go over and touch the rock, and then he's going to go over, pick up his cloak, and put on his cloak again.
So it's just the cloak everybody sees is what you're going for here?
Yep, pretty much. Yep.
All right, nice. All right, so you guys see a cloak floating in midair.
Can we ask our driver to touch it also? So we'll have an invisible driver, which could come in handy for ambush and stuff.
He seems a little reluctant. Are you trying to like convince him? Because he's kind of just like trying to avoid any of this kind of stuff. Not real comfortable with magic, that kind of deal. You certainly try to persuade him.
If someone sees us riding, I guess no, we left the road, so we're in the middle of nowhere. Never mind.
Yeah, I'll tell him for his safety, and I'll I'll reach in that bag of gems we have and just grab maybe something green and hand it to him.
Okay, yeah. As you ask him to do this and then pay him to do it, he seems more receptive to this idea, and he approaches it after seeing several of you do it. He touches it as well, and sure enough, he vanishes.
Nice.
All right. It sounds like you guys want to continue on your travel towards the Serpent's Tail stream.
I want to point out that I'm not invisible, though.
Okay.
Yeah, the most normal of us looking there is the one that's not invisible.
Harmony's too scared. She has a phobia.
But I will try to drag that hand drum up on top and use a rope or something to secure it on top at him.
Sure, you can. Yeah, so this is a very large drum, so yeah, you kind of have to stack it. I imagine with all your other supplies, this is kind of sitting there a bit awkward, but yeah, you tie it down. I mean, unless something crazy happens, like you hit a massive bump or something, it looks like it should be fine.
Can I lay it on its side so the part where they would hit it with their hand is facing where the driver is, and then I want to kind of lean against that. That would be preferred.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'll touch the rock just to see if this invisibility is as cool as mine.
You are also invisible.
Oh, yeah. Wow, guys, this is so cool. Oh my god.
Hey, not all of us can do that.
Me.
Are you showing sarcasm, Spectre?
Alright,
That's
let's
new.
go. No, it's not.
No. Let's talk about your new personality traits.
Sense of humor. She's
Yes.
lightening up.
That really is a magical rock.
Are you trying to have fun? Is that what you're saying?
It's important to squeeze it out when you can. Are we ready to go? Do I need to teach you anything about coordination while you're, not all there? Can't see your feet.
It's the horse that I'm worried about.
I don't have feet.
I mean, for certain definitions of feet. Can we go? I'm getting bored.
Harmony puts the chicken in the carriage.
All right. As you guys pack all up and continue making your way, Harmony, you're in the carriage just kind of getting ready to close the door, and you hear the horse out front say, "Oh, God, glad they got rid of that other horse. He was such a bastard." You guys continue traveling on your way.
All right, everybody, roll call. Make sure we're all here.
After traveling for about an hour or so, you suddenly notice, bing, 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 as all of you that were invisible are no longer invisible.
That was fun while it lasted.
I thought it was. So at least we know that we're all here, so count noses.
Are we all here?
You are
Did we
all
leave
here,
Kurtu
yes.
behind?
No, you're all here. After about another 3 days of travel, that seems to be predominantly uneventful, Hugo, roll me a D100, please, as you start approaching what looks to be a river.
Uh-oh.
So close.
All right. As you get up towards this river, you notice a single individual, looks to be a human male, is standing nearby the river, and you can hear him exclaiming over the waters in sort of a joyful tone. And it seems to be very happy, and you hear like a lot of, I can't, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Oh my goodness.
Is he looking at us, or what's he looking at?
He is looking at the river. His back is to you.
Does he have any like travel equipment with him or any means of transportation?
No, he does not look like he has any kind of cart or horse or anything like that. Even his attire, you would actually think he looks like a farmer. He doesn't even have like traveling clothes on.
Is he like holding something in his hand? Can we see like what he's
He
exclaiming
is.
at?
He is holding something in his hand. Give me a blind check here, Rasmus, to see if you can see exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm like standing up on the back of the cart now. Yeah, I think he found like a big gem muscle.
You notice in his hand is something you are familiar with. It looks to be a cigar.
Hey!
Are there any farms in this area that we have seen?
No.
I'm gonna jump off at him.
Okay. Are you trying to stay a ways away from him, or are you approaching him?
No, I'm gonna approach him and I'm gonna like light my pipe as I'm walking and I'm gonna say, "Hey, what's that?"
He turns, and with a big smile on his face, he looks at you and says, "Oh, come!" And you see he actually moves up quickly towards you, handing the cigar over to you. And with a big smile filled with joy, he says, "It's a girl!"
What? This here?
No, my wife just had a baby. It's a girl.
Oh,
You live out here.
No, she just had the baby. Like I said, no.
can I, Adam? You know, I smoke a lot of tobacco. Can I, as he hands it to me, can I take a second to smell it and look at it? Does it have any kind of like distinguishing, like a stamp on it or anything like that? Like, would I recognize the cigar?
Give me a blind check. No, this does not look familiar to you at all. In fact, even like the wrapping of the cigar looks to be of not like the material that you're familiar with. It feels more like maybe reed or like some kind of natural covering as opposed to like a manufactured one.
So, yeah, your baby just had a wife, but we're in the middle of nowhere.
You see, he actually starts cackling. You just said baby had a wife. Ah!
Damn it. I hate this language. Someone else talk. That's why I don't do this.
You see, he turns back, looking towards the river once again, getting closer to it as he steps away a bit away from you, and once again, oh! And you see, he just seems to be smiling, just overjoyed as he looks into the water.
Is he talking to the water or something? Is his
maybe.
wife the water?
Or something in the water is...
This looks like a duty for our esteemed leader and communicator, Kotu.
Well, no, I think Leroy would say this. He would say there is something fishy in the meat sauce.
I really want to smoke this cigar.
All right, so as we are slightly over the end of our session time here, what is you guys' plan when we pick up, not next week, but 2 weeks? Is it to approach this farmer or try to avoid him?
This feels real sus to me, boys. He's looking in the water. I feel like there's something like charming him in there. Like,
Armini doesn't like the vibe.
I already secured.
He's out in the middle of nowhere. He doesn't live around here apparently. He's just doesn't have any kind of equipment that would help him survive out here. This is something's fucky here.
I secured the cigar, so I'm good.
I think that because he is fishy, that we leave him to be a happy father.
Say congratulations.
Hugo probably is gonna try to see what's in the water.
God damn it, Hugo.
Yes, I love it.
What the hell, huh, Hugo?
It's not just me.
All right, fair enough then. So we will assume when we pick up in 2 weeks' time that Hugo will be approaching the water, getting somewhat close to it, see if he can make out what's going on there. So good session, guys. Welcome to the group officially, to both Armony and Hugo. Glad you guys were able to join, and look forward to future adventures with you 2 weeks' time. Have a great night, everybody.
And you can't forget breakfast the chicken.
Right.
Yeah,
we're
that
gonna-
was
we're-
fun, folks.
We're gonna need a little what do you call it? Placeholder for
Chicken
breakfast of
token?
chicken. Yeah, chicken token.
Oh god.
All right, sounds good. I'll keep that in mind.
Hey, it's great playing with you guys. Nice meeting you, Noah.
Yeah, you guys too. That was a lot of fun.
All right, take
And
it. Bye.
everybody
Have fun.
be safe.